Yo, it's HyperNOG, back with another one today, boys. What's going on, you absolute nutjobs? It's HyperNOG. Happy birthday, Grounded. Now, yes, obviously, happy birthday, Grounded 2, as it has been a year since Grounded 2 went into early access for the first time. But this is also a double happy birthday, or happy girthday, for the first game, because it has also been 6 years since Grounded went into early access, which is... So you know I had to come out here and do a little for the game. What I've actually done is put together a Grounded Onyx Pro here, and I'm posting it today to celebrate its birthday. Back when Grounded released, it didn't actually come with an Onyx-Pro Digital Art Book that we got with Grounded 2. This is a new addition and something that they chose to do going forward. What we did get in Grounded 1 was a fan kit that came with an tinsy-wincy amount of screenshots and concept art. There was a little bit in there, don't worry, I've added it in here. But we didn't get an overarching massive digital art book like we've now come to expect with Grounded 2. So I've gone out and scoured the internet for absolutely everything I could find for Grounded when it comes to art, screenshots, concept images, and even fan art for the game. Weapons, armors, furniture, biomes, some things that never even made it into the game, character designs. I've also gone out and got a ton of screenshots for Grounded because they're absolutely gorgeous and I had to add them in here. Not only that, I've also gone out and got a load of fan art, concept and ideas for Grounded when it first came out, because I'm not even gonna lie, when I started to peep into them a little bit, I was like, yo, some of them turned into ideas. So what I've done is I've organized them all nicely onto a slideshow for us to go through and down the road in Another reason I did this is because, well, we now know that the harpoon gun and harpoons are coming to Grounded 2 in the Into the Abyss update. Well, harpoons were actually a cut content idea from Grounded 1 and all the concept ideas were made, but it also got me thinking, hold on a minute, what else is there in all of this array of concept ideas that we can take a look at that was cut from Grounded 1 that might actually come into Grounded 2. Obviously, we got the pond update right around the corner. Some of this stuff could make it into Grounded 2, but some of it could make it in as soon as the pond update, seeing as the harpoons did. So come along with me as we take a trip back to the backyard of Grounded 1 with Grounded's Onyx-Pro. No, we won't be going through absolutely every single one of them and pausing and taking a tea break to sit and talk about everything for 5 minutes. Quick disclaimer, there's about 1,000 images. Anything of super interest, I will put it on screen for you to see as well. Just like with my Onyx-Pro videos, these ones do typically take a lot longer than normal because, well, we're enjoying the concept and we're getting creative. and we're sitting and viewing. Let's do this! Right, here we go then. Straight off the rip, this is an early concept design for Grounded. As you can see, right over here, we have Yoked Girth himself. Well, the head of him with like a grass plank door right there. Really early designs for like a lean-to. I think these are like some pills next to like a leaf that's propped up with toothpicks. Obviously the baseball that we knew to be in the game. Some weird little creature, we don't know what that is there. This might be ants before we even conceptualize them, and an anthill right there. And you can see that the character is actually holding a matchstick. That is how he is lighting his way through the tunnel right there off the bat. Next we get something pulled from an interview where they said the mixer is modeled after a bacteriophage, which is a type of virus that attacks bacteria. I'll pull up a picture of what that actually looks like here, but what I can see here in the background is like it's got the legs that hit down on the floor and then the center bit that bites into the bacteria. That's apparently what that structure is made after. Bro, next I saw this and was like, hey yo! And then I read it. One of the devs said how much they love the Minotaur maze key, and it is 100% because of the belly button. It's a belly button at the end, bro. Chill out. Next, starting with those 90 inspirations, the dense foliage and massive trees of Grounded made the cover art from Secrets of Mana a natural inspiration. So Secrets of Mana obviously being some 90s inspiration for Grounded. I saw this and was like, hey yo! Next we have an early concept of what they wanted to do with spider webs and how like the vector mesh kind of goes up and down, and they had different design for eggs, web sacks, and just shape variants right there. There we have the poncho designs. Like I said, these will be ideas, concepts, and like everything in the Onyx-Pro, it's a little bit of this and that. We have the armed raspberry, peach fuzz, lemon crime, and tropicot designs right there. Next we have this insanely vibey picture, of which I can only describe is the oak tree, or over at the tree stump in Grounded 1. There you can see Max T-posing down the bottom, but oh yeah, this is a really early design. I love this. This is exactly what Grounded ended up being, right? Here we have the model design for Pete. Obviously, Grounded Pete with a bow build, wearing the marksman hat and the full grub gear with the little sprig bow. Nice. Next, we have another early psychedelic funky concept for Grounded before the game ever got put into production, I guess. We've got a character over here like climbing a beanstalk. That's funny, they never put a beanstalk in the game. Did you think that was something that they put in? We've got dandelions. We've got a character down here holding like a weird wooden club. We got someone on a dandelion over here flying. We've got rose bushes and then loads of ants leading into this like weird structure, which looks like early designs of bases. And then like a tree with like a spider in it. Is this where the brood mother, the hedge brood mother, was first conceptualized? There's even like a little ghost there, like a little sleeping sign, like you could have a base there or something. But hey, this is psychedelic and I love it. Next, a render of some cat tail stalks. Now we know these are coming in Grounded 2, and this was actually cut content from Grounded 1, I guess. They were in the game, but the cattail fluff itself wasn't. If you haven't worked out already, the cattail fluff that we saw in the Grounded 2 pond update reveal is going to come from these little suckers. We're going to have to chop down the stalks and get into these brown things inside. There's fluff, cattail fluff. Here we have a picture of hoops underwater in the pond. It's just a nice picture. I love that. Here we have a more detailed version. I think that's Willow now, again, in the pond. There is going to be a lot of pond stuff in here just to get you even more hype for the pond update, obviously. There we have Pete rocking the Koi armor set, the Grounded 1 Koi armor set. Now that we've seen the new Koi scale armor set, it's like, ooh-wee. But there he is over in the pond on a lily pad. Oh, seeing the house in the backyard there, bro. All right, that's doing something. Right, so now we're getting into a few more of the concepts before after going into all the screenshots that we have. And here we have an early design for all of the teams. Oh my God. If you don't know, this is so 90s. It is unreal. I'm pretty sure this one right here is based off the cartoon Doug. If any of you remember, I'll put a picture up on screen, obviously. But all of these character designs right here are screaming early 90s, and I love it. Next, we have Yoked girth and maybe a new design or a different design for yoked girth right here. Gonna lie, it looks so familiar. I don't know what it is. What is that? Love that. Next, we have a concept design for the workbench, which is so vibey. I love the drawn aesthetic of things that end up in the game. It just gives it some cartoon, lifelike, animated feel to it, which is just unparalleled in vibes. This is like an early model for Max as well. Bro's just got that dead look in his eyes, and he's got a completely different tank top than he ended up with, obviously. Oh, I love this. Workbench. Next, we have concepts for the spike traps. Ooh. So the one on the right-hand side here is what they actually eventually went with, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm looking at this and I'm like, yo, that looks way more heavy duty, right? I'm pretty sure there was two types of spike traps, one which was more a basic one and then the one with the splinter trap, right? But yeah, moody, love that. Next, we got some concepts for chests. I don't know why, but this square one up here is just calling out to me, bro. I liked the basic chest design that they went with in the game, but having one that was square means you could have just stacked them all just, damn. But we have a few other designs here, A all the way to G, and it looks like realistically the last two are kind of what we got, but it's good to see the designs. I like to see the evolution. Next, we have the shrinking laser. Oh my god, bruh, that is sick to see. Obviously, when I went and downloaded all of these, I just quickly went, oh, that's new, oh, that's new, oh, that's new, and downloaded. So I am viewing these for the first time in detail with you lot right there. But seeing the targeting laser, the serious laser, having a different adjustment on that, it gives it a different like feel to me. Seeing it from the perspective we see it, you never really like look at it like this. Oh, seeing like the old Vega. Is it a Vega? I can't even remember. It's like the old PC connection. Oh, just clocked. There is a character right down there at the very bottom on a leaf, which gives you the scale of the game right there. That looks so sick. I love all the ominous tech that it's all like made from jerry-rigged 90s vibes of like plugging everything in with like the screws and the old adapters, and that kind of translates into the game in what we make and how we make things out of bug parts. Oh my god, I love it. Next, we have an early concept of the Weevil shield, which is moody. Here is a comparison of the character to just general everyday items. We have a bottle cap, which is 30 millimeters, a mushroom, a matchstick, and a paperclip, and you can see the scale of the character to them. That's scaling. Here is like a weird 90s schematic of the first original Scabby before we got the 2K integrated 2. This is what it looks like. We had the LCD screen, a solar panel for charging, the 90s computer beige plastic. Now, it doesn't actually show the color of that, but everybody that grew up in the 90s, when I just said 90s computer beige plastic, knows exactly the color I'm talking about, and they can even smell it. Yeah, I love these like emojis almost down the bottom, like very early Tamagotchi digital little faces, which is so 90s. Next, we have a look at the resource analyzer, the first resource analyzer. Yo, I was looking at that like, I don't even know what this is, but yeah, obviously we got a completely new stand-up one in Grounded 2. Now we can see this here. It's like a weird, on a like rail printer with a microscope to look in and see what you've got, and then it mixes it up and gives you the results. I've never looked at it in the way I'm looking at it right now. That's so sick. Next, we have Poncho Lemon Crime. Ooh, so the early schematics for a mosquito that came to Grounded 1. The flying pose hides its legs. It lifts up its legs to dive in for a fast attack. Feeding on the fresh corpse, their stomachs expand with blood. Yo, so we actually do get that, right? If they attack you and they get you, they actually fill up with blood. So these are like the early designs for that. That's so sick. And I hate them, but love them. Here's a concept design for the mint mace. Oh, there's two different variations. This is the one I think we went with, but this one's giving more of like an axe vibe. Oh, minty. Meat. Aphid meat on a stick. Okay, maybe this is like something to ward off bugs like we did get with the ant heads and stuff in Grounded 1. I love these concepts, man. Here is a drawing of, I'm gonna say, a ladybird lava. No, it's actually the normal lava because the ladybirds are darker, but yeah. Oh, I hate these as well. Hitting you with the little Every time you go past, nah, I'm good, bro. Here we have some concepts for the buoyant marker. I was going to say foundation then, because obviously we know they're coming in grounded too. But yeah, yo, we obviously got something more on the right-hand side here, but I'm looking over here at the left-hand side, and they've got like some air bubble in like a net. The best thing about these is the red and white kind of wrapped around them. This is like something you actually see out at sea, CC, which is like a big flotation device that normally I think they have bells in, but they're called buoys, something like that. I don't know. It's some vibe. Next, the infected weevil, bruh. Oh my god, I love these. And the infected gnats from the first game are some of the most vibiest creatures. I don't know why. I just fuck with them, especially the eyes and the weird little wow. But there's the evil weevil. Ooh, okay. We got a lot here. We've got loads of designs all scattered all over the place. Yo, look at this. Top right, we have, I think it's the red ant helmet. Yeah, because in the middle, you can see that one is the helmet that we actually eventually got, but they had more of a like deserty Arabian mask over here. But then that, yo, that straight up looks like the infected broodmother set, or the broodmother set that we got in Grounded 1, but obviously like some red vibes. I don't know. That there is doing something to me, thinking about a little red brood mother, not orb weaver. Speaking of orb weaver, then we have an early design for the orb weaver armor. Interesting. Look at the shoulder pad. I like how that is literally the yellow and black from the orb weaver. We have a few weapons like the bee stinger weapon and obviously the sprig bow. We have the torch, the sprig torch. We got that. We have a design for the acorn set. Did we get that mask in Grounded 1? Oh, there's two variations. It's been a minute. I can't remember. Then we have a gnat or a fly, whatever you want to call it, a mite, a gas mask, a red ant design that's looking kind of gnarly. I can't even lie. I like the sharpness to it. The sprig bat, the sprig stick, the sprig bat, the red ant club, and that's the design we just saw for the chests. Ooh, nice little spread there, like that. Okay, now we have the concepts of the dew catcher and water storage 2.0. Oh, is this the one? I'm like, well, where's the 1.0? This is what they went with eventually. Was there one before this? I don't know if there was. Obviously, you notice there's the water container. The clover leaf inside floats as the water rises and tells you whether you're empty and full. They kept that in. That's sick, and it works on the surface tension. This is why these Grounded devs are so goated. I love it. And then the dew catcher has a chance to spawn dew each day. Gnats should totally get caught in it too. Oh my god, if they'd have made that a gnat trap, that would have been sick. In fact, why don't we try that? Again, Beta Max over there with his dead look on his face. Love that. Yo! So now we have some more filled out designs for those early 90s characters. Not sure you can entirely see who's who, but I'm going to say that's Willow in the middle. We have a Pete model here and a Max, but it's like there's another Pete here. And I mean, is that Hoops? I mean, I guess. And then there's like another... Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams were originally planned. Oh, and is that a female here? If that's a female, then that's a female. 15 confirmed. Oh my god. Why is Pete holding raw science in his hand? Bros, and why is Pete 2 holding a weevil in his hands? So many questions. No answers at all for any of this. Okay. Oh, okay. I lied. There's the answers for all of that. Now we get the actual OG 4 characters that they went with. Max, Willow, Hoops, and Pete with his little stick slingshot. Okay. Okay. There we go. They thinned out the herd. Or did they? Ooh, here we go. Now we actually get to see a concept of them way more drawn up and rendered ready for the game. Bro, what does Hoops look like, bro? Wait, bro. I swear that's what I can hear when I see her like that. Okay. Well, we got Willow here. We got Pete. Pete's looking a bit even more goofy.
Hey,
I can't even lie. But again, we have Beta Max with the dead look. Okay, bro. Ooh, now I just was like, what am I looking at? But this could have been the early concept for a canteen. Because here's an empty canteen on the left, and here's a full canteen on the right that holds a single dewdrop. Maybe it's a big one. You can take a couple of sips from it, but hey, canteen. Here we have a drawing of the spinning wheel for processed silk item, aka the silk rope. I like that it actually has a little basket underneath to collect the silk rope. Did we get that in the final design? I'm not sure we did. Love that. And here we have some more iterations of that. Up here you can see different wheels, different spindles, different spinning wheel designs and like layouts. Then this is like what the wheel would look like spinning. Oh, it's different versions of the wheel. So some of them are made from like sprig. It looks like a cucumber, more sprig, an acorn, clay, and like maybe some stems. But okay. Yo, okay. We have the bed. We've already seen the crow feather bed, but we never got the crow feather sleeping bag. Why is that a vibe? Anything that is new and didn't end up in the game is going to be a vibe because it's like, well, why don't you add that in as more? But I'm seeing that little sleeping bag and I'm thinking, I could take a little snooze on that. Next, Kielbasa. Ooh, this is like a mood board, I guess, for different biomes in the yard. First, we have the grasslands, I guess. This is the sand pit, then the hedge. I don't know if they even went with this in the game. This looks like the underground toxic lake that we have in Grounded 2. Next, we have like a wall, and you can even see, oh, maybe this is the upper yard wall that surrounds that in Grounded 1, because you can see a character climbing it. That is a dark and dingy biome with massive spider legs. So, hedge brew mother. This is like a purple cave with ants in. There's a tiny little sucker in there, down there in the bottom right-hand corner. This is the barbecue biome, because you can see all of the ever charcoal chunks. And this is the pond biome. I like that. That is vibey. There we have a concept drawing for the ladybug armor and its palette of colors right there. That's pretty much exactly what we got, but to see it like this is girth. There we have the firefly helmet looking radiant. Another look at the marksman cap on a character with a weird nose. I like this one. I don't know why this one reminds me like it would be made out of the antlion stuff like we got with that set. But next we have a picture of the T-Rex underwater, because we also have a few pictures of the rendered toy. Now, I never actually saw it like this when we played the game. I just saw it as like a T-Rex with eyes. It's like, whoa. But actually seeing it as the toy that it was makes me think, oh my God, yeah, this is totally just a 90s toy that some kids had and it fell in the pond. I'm pretty sure I had this exact T-Rex back in the day. Here we have some designs for some pond items. We have wax. That's like some lily pad leaf maybe we were gonna get. Here we have the tadpole meat, and then we have a whole array of sunken bones, which, what? We could have had these. These are like vertebrae bones, right? That run down like a spine of something, but they look so much more vibey. I don't know whether or not they should have too many items give us the same things. I never really liked it that you had like different petals in Grounded that end up just giving you the same petal. Even though they were blue, they give you red petals. So if we did have more than one sunken bone, I'd probably be like, oh, but maybe one could be worth two. Here we have a picture of the log, the water boatsman from Grounded 1, as you can see right there in a render, I'm gonna call this, right? It's a concept render, but hey, you can see the grid over here on the actual character. That creature, that's what makes me say a render, but hey, I like it. And then obviously there we see the little boatsman in the pond. There's that vibey red ant spiky picture that we had. It is a soldier ant actually, that we had earlier. Yo, there we get the ant worker with some big googly green eyes. Definitely a different design choice there. I'm not sure if that closely represents what we had eye-wise, right? But something about this is like giving. It's like some symbol. Like, you know, you see the masked stranger symbol around the park and you see the ominous symbol around the park, but like this is like the symbol for ants. I love it. Then we see the family of ants, the ant family. We have the red, the black, and the yet to be seen in Grounded 2 fire ant broski. And then we see them all grown up in their soldier ant form. And well, we know now these are actually buggies in Grounded 2. So the red ant buggy, the black ant buggy, and soon, somewhere down the line, we will have a fire ant buggy, and that is going to make the ant buggy family a trio. I think, and I hope and wish and pray that all families we get for buggies are a trio. We've got the ladybug trio, which is ladybird, potato beetle, and ladybird. I'm going to say the potato beetle could be the 2-player mount, and then ladybird could be the higher tier. And then we have the spider, which could be, I don't know, orb weaver, wolf spider, brood mother. I don't know, it might not go that way, but hey. Then we got the amphibious family with the tow biter that can be its own amphibious family, 3 different amphibious families. See what I mean by these pictures just spark creativity? Love it! Here we get a look down in one of the ant hills. Here we have a look over in the assistant manager boss fight. We are going to go through a few screenshots right here. This is the lab where we find Raisin Head Tully. But yo, when I saw this, I was like, I've never seen this like this. This is raw science collected absolutely in a container and pumping into this lab right here, which has a bed in. Is this the bed where Tully worked on himself to turn himself back from raisin, or was this like the Mant experiment? Like, what is going on here? Raw science girth in the flesh. Another look in a nominal lab, more lab, more labs, some more labs, and the hedge lab, I know because it is got the password right there. I just love these screenshots. They're taken by the actual team over Obsidian, and they're not just fan screenshots, so they get the best angles, lighting, and just that's why they're in this Onyx-Pro. Yeah, that is the lab that we just confirmed. Ooh, mama! And now we have the early concept for the koi fish in Grounded 1. They say it's like a shark-like frontal shape, okay? And you can see it in scale to the character. Having fins showing above the water, snake-like and murky, make it spooky as well. Ooh, so even back then they had some snake-like vibes. Here we can see all different iterations of a carp fish. You've got the slim one, the fat one, the long one, the girthy one. But yo, to see it there before it became the way it was is sick. Oh my god, now this is super interesting. Yo, snails. So like I said earlier, there was some stuff that got cut from Grounded that never made it in, that has made it to Grounded 2. Obviously, right here we have a snail, bro. Moss may grow on shell, maybe could be a food source, and the shell could be used for shelter. Bruh, just below it, we have snail can also be used in the water. It'd be cool to make a boat from the shell. A little rowboat from a snail shell. Obviously, we know they made it into Grounded 2, but the fact that they was playing around with the ideas, as you can see right here in Grounded 1, oh my days, so good. Another creature that we didn't get in Grounded 1, and don't have in Grounded 2 yet either, is a daddy long legs. Passive, question mark, but those legs are good for ranged attack as well. I think everybody's actually said that a daddy longlegs would be in the game, so seeing them having the concepts here is sick. From a viewer's perspective, you see way above the grass their body of a daddy longlegs. Can you imagine the daddy longlegs being as tall as the top of a grass plank, and they're like creepy crawling over you? Oh my god! No, that's crazy. Here you can see they also had some designs for ant queens, and they had designs for bees and wasps. Oh, and I just like brushed over them because I hate them. Mosquitoes. Next, we get a look at the house and yard in its pastel drawing concept state. Ooh, I love it. I don't ever look at Grounded's backyard in this perspective. You're actually seeing it as a house in the neighborhood rather than being in the grass blades looking up like... Here we have the mosquito schematic, let's call it again, but now we have a roly-poly one as well. Oh, I miss roly-polies, man. Okay, I can't read it because it's super small, but I can zoom in. Oh, so they're talking about the roll-up and unwind animation, and the legs start from outer side, comes into the middle and out again. Yeah, they're crazy. So they actually take inspiration from a real insect to make the design. Oh man, you've got to love the attention to detail. No one's realistically going to know that, right? But subconsciously, you're going to see it as natural to the bug. Yes, so this is the picture that sparked off the idea of even doing a Grounded Onyx-Pro, because I saw this picture and I was like, yo, the ideas here are so good. Up the top here in the left-hand corner, they said they wanted a big window with an opportunity to see light, like we were going to be up in the attic of the house all those years ago in Grounded 1, and that got me thinking, yo, for me, Grounded is Toy Story 2 and A Bug's Life on the PS1 merged into one game. And in that Toy Story game, you've got to run around the house in Andy's room and do this, that, and the other, and also go into the yard. And then obviously we have Bug's Life being the bug's perspective and going around in the outdoors, but we almost had a chance to go in the house. Everybody wanted it. I know when playing it, everybody was always saying that. So down here, it also says maybe the garage could be a good entrance to the lab. So there could have been a garage lab. Do you see what I'm saying? All of these early house concept explorations are so interesting. This could have been what we got. Here I have a screenshot of the top of the Java-Matic, which I think actually is a pencil sharpener, if I remember. In the 90s, you used to get these pencil sharpeners. Well, at first you got the ones that you had to do with your hand, but then you had ones that you would turn like that, and then you got electric ones that you was like, way before they come out with graphite and stuff that you could just use infinitely, and it had the green goo gooping out. It always used to confuse me. I used to be like, what? Can I get this? Here we have another look at that with its circuit board taped to the top by Tully. And now we get another look at the Java-Matic up close. Oh, I love these screenshots, bro. So good. The fidelity. And now we have a render model of the Java-Matic on its own. Electric shock, risk, do not touch. Okay, bro. So this is the Java-Matic in its character model, which is interesting. I love that. Here we have an old FM pocket radio. I don't know if that means something to you. If you were born after the year 2000, you probably won't. But these, oh my God, I remember actually getting them and getting the aerial and being like, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You've tuned into the, you know, finding the channel and like trying to like get a little bit of radio because it used to work off actual signals. I think they turned off all of that, right? The analog signal in the world, or at least in country. I don't know, but that's what that is right there. There is hoops on top to see the scale. And yeah, on the side, you had the tuner, the volume. Yo, we reminiscing right there. Yeah, man. Hey, comment down below if you've actually experienced one of these in real life. Yeah, you got to change the band select, change different bands. And here we have the render model, obviously, for that in-game item. I love to see it out of the game and like as a thing, as a render. Yes. Next we're on top of the toolbox. Yep, there you can see the tools and the box. Tool tote, that's what it's called. Oh, I love this area. I remember first finding this in Grounded and like jumping up and then being like, because you saw wasps, and I'm pretty sure, is there a widow up there? There's some creepy crawly spiders in there for real. Yeah, and I used to love this little face peeping out. It's so 90s. Oh my God, this game. And once again, there is a render model of that right there. Then we get to see the battery in the park, and then we have poops in the house for scale, and then we have a few more shots of the battery, which is like, bruh, who else in the entire history of gaming can make a car battery a vibe? Like literally like a centerpiece to somewhere that has exploration, like gameplay to it, and makes you feel like, yo, I remember that. That's a key part of that area. No, that's crazy. Once again, like the lawnmower. It's a vibe in Grounded 1. Oh, the roly-poly set. Oh, roly-poly me any day. Is that the Black Ant Shield? Yo. And again, a few more images of the lawnmower just to solidify the vibes. Because obviously, there's a render for it. Here we can see it in all its rustic glory. And, well, there's a cap gun. Again, leave another comment if you have ever actually used a cap gun that you would have to load the caps in and then and then that little smell of like weak ass gunpowder. Oh man, I used to love that. We actually used to get that gunpowder and we used to empty them all out, and we used to take the tops off of red Swan Vesta matches because they were flammable. Not like safety matches, you have to strike on that certain stuff, and then you'd pack them into like a balloon and then you'd light them and make bangers. We used to do all types of stuff like that in the 90s. I was like Sid from Toy Story in the 90s. My neighbor Ben literally put a banger rocket on my Action Man and we sent it up into the air and it blew up. And my parents were pissed because they just bought me that Action Man for my birthday. That's a little side story for you right there. Here's a look at Wendell's chair with the pipe and the toenail clippings and the scabby right there. Oh, it's the chair we're looking at. The rustic 90s chair, right? They only did these in the 90s because obviously we're going to be looking at the 3D render of it. There it is, the table. There is the chair. Next, we have a concept for the Sprig shovel. Is it called the Sprig shovel? Either way, the Omni tool of Grounded 1. Before we had the Omni tool, we actually had to have individual tools. That was the shovel. This is a lava blade. There you go. So this kind of solidifies my idea earlier that it was indeed an early canteen, because you can see the early design and then the second design. Ooh, I like this little pouch here. Put it over your shoulder type shit and walk around with it. A little Yes. Then we have the Sprig Stick, Sprig Bat. Can't remember what it's called, but it's Spriggy. A render of the fiber bandages, the charcoal canteen. Oh my God. Are they bringing it back in the pond update? Well, maybe. That's exactly what I was talking about. We can see some stuff that we think is coming into Grounded 2 right there. And then we have the normal grub one. Pretty sure it's made from grub. Yo, it took me a minute to think, what is that? This is the Sprig wrench. I'm gonna put Sprig to everything because I'm just looking at the bottom here. But this is the wrench. Before we had the Omni wrench and you could fix your base. This was like the tier 1 wrench for fixing up your base and repairing it. There again is a different render of the shovel. The Sprig shovel. Wait, that's the lava blade. Wait, was that not the lava blade before? I don't even know, but it's bladey. The Sprig bat again. We're getting a few of the same renders, but in different perspectives. Here is the roasting spit. I'll get there in the end. Jesus Christ. There is the basket, the storage basket. There is the lean-to that, yep, we actually got in the end. There's another picture of those early storage concepts. The actual one we got in-game, I never noticed. It's actually been nailed onto the back there with thorns. Yeah. Wow! Here we have a nice concept design of the smoothie station and then a few other figures for scale. Ooh, I love this drawn aesthetic. Imagine the whole game in this drawn aesthetic. That's some 90s shit to me right there. I can't even lie. Don't know why, but like early concept designs, drawings, and like that kind of aesthetic makes me think of like that like early anime manga type beat. There is the smoothie station. Now this is a poly render of the workbench. It took me a minute to figure out what that is. Basically, it's the render without any textures. And there's the render with the textures. And that is like the final model we actually got. I'm just looking at that and I'm like, this is what I love about the game. They could make a workbench, which is normally just something, a bit of wood that you go over to and you use. You never look twice at it. Make it into a vibe over here, bro. I just noticed it's got sap on the edges of the turn on the vice. No, that's crazy to stop it like pulling this way and pulling that. Okay, I'll move on. Then we have the buoyant foundation. No, that's not that. There we have the buoyant marker, the flotating martyr. I'm gonna leave that in. And then we have the render of it. Is that what it ended up looking like? I'm pretty sure it is, but it's rendering me out. Ooh, yo. Okay. These are different iterations of the drying rack. I'm gonna say, yeah, the middle 3 are what we got. But yo, again, like if I see anything new, I'm just like, that's new. I need that. But like a giant sprig with a few of like thorns going through it. It does look rudimentary, but hey, come on, give me that. I like this whole like pinned down effect. It reminds me of the tent in Dumbo where they had the lines coming out and they pinned down and you hammered in. Distraction! And then of course the final rendition of the jerky rack. Here's an early concept of the grinder. There is the actual grinder and what it came into. Love it. There's a render of the spinning wheel. See, we never got that basket down the bottom. That would have been nice, man. A concept design for the basketball hoop. Yep, love it. A render of the basketball hoop. Ooh, a few different designs for the glue masher. Okay, I'm gonna say, yeah, the middle one's actually what we got. But this here, I love that everything they've made in this game is all taken from real world inspiration. That's something that you could actually see someone use. I'm not sure if you pull down. Yeah, you pull down on the handle and it mushes up. Hey, yes, bro. Love that. Glue masher? Glue mashing. Yo! Hold on. A concept drawing of the fridge looking chilling. Even like showing a little bit of chili mist coming out here. I love that. I love this drawn aesthetic. I need a filter in Grounded that does that. You know we had the filters in the camera mode in Grounded 1. I think they're in Grounded 2. I just don't use them ever, but give me a drawn aesthetic that turns everything into a concept design. Oh. There we obviously have the final fridge design. Another nice little concept of the smithing station and its final render. What on girth am I looking at here, bruh? Oh, it's the spike burr explosive? I don't even remember that, yo. Okay, so I'm pretty sure this is like an explosive that we had in Grounded 1 and you made it from the spike burr and some of the infected goopity goop. I can't remember what it's called, but yeah. Oh man, we need something like that back in Grounded 2. Oh, we do have the Croaksworth now. We got a new bomb, but that was a highly explosive. That's bad. I'm looking at that like, what am I looking at, bro? It looks like Snuckle, whatever his name is, the Pokemon with like the tentacles coming up the shell. Okay, and there is the render. It just looks, bro, I haven't seen it in so long. It looks completely and utterly out of this world. crazy. So here's the early designs for the mannequin, which I absolutely love because it looks so derpy. It's like they just chucked a load of clay on a stick and then put arms, legs, and then gone for the eyes. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty close on the right here to what we got. I just love, look at this little shoulder joint. That's so cool. How it's like a sprig going through and then they looped through for the arms. Bro, we need this. We need this just for the memes, bro. Look at that. Yeah, there you go. There's the end rendition. Oh, and they did actually use the same techers for the arms in there. I've just never noticed it. And yeah, of course, the eyes are just... We have a moody drawing of the oven. I like the difference between on and off. Yeah. Litty. Obviously, the final render. There we have the cookery in all its glory. And now we're going to go through a few images looking at the cookery. Bro, it never... I swear, does it look like this in game? Right here with the lighting, it looks so good, bro. Oh, no, we're not. We're going to look at the... Brood Mother mask right there. See, it was the same design as that red one we saw earlier. Yeah, I love it. And again, love the concept drawing. There we have the render of it. I've seen this image before actually somewhere else. That's actually what we got in the game. There's a look at the same marksman hat that we saw earlier, this time on its own. Ooh, the wizard hat. I don't know what it's called. I can't search my brain for what this is called at all, but it was kind of like the wizardy vibe. You didn't have a full wizard staff set in Grounded 1, but there was pieces, and you used to use this with the moth set to have like a bit of a wizard vibe. Yeah, there's a render of marksman in a few different angles and the wizard one right there. I was gonna say this is a harpoon image, but no, this is a spear image. I'm gonna say this is just for the basic pebblet spear and all the different renditions they had for that. Girth, the sprig hammer. There we go, we finally got it. We saw all the other tools. There's the hammer. Oh no, also we had an axe. I've forgotten because we have the Omni tool now that we had a sprig axe as well, the tier 1 axe. Yo, okay. There's the pebblet spear, hammer, axe, hammer, and spear combo. Black Widow dagger? I don't know. I can't remember. Black Ant Queen dagger? Oh, I can't remember, but that's what that's giving at the back. Yeah, what is this? I'm forgetting. Oopsies. And that's like a different version of it, and you hold it. Oh, that's sick. It's like a fang. What is that? What is this? Is this the Black Widow fang dagger? Tick dagger? No, tick didn't have a dagger. Oh, the club of the mother demon. Now, this was one of my favorite weapons in Grounded. The only real reason it probably sticks in my mind as my favorite is because it was kind of late game, and once you got it, it was like, go-donk, go-donk. And then obviously getting the infected brood mother one. Is that one? Is that right? It might not be, but hey, it's a heavy weapon. Ooh, there it is in a render as well. Yeah, gelatinous. Mosquito rapier in a little concept image. And then there's the render of the rapier. Elbasa. Sappy bombs. Red ant bot. I remember what it's even called. But there you see the first tier 1 bomb. Then we have the bee stinger spear looking sharp. Ooh. Then we have its render. Oh, the mint mace. Again, loving the drawing and aesthetic, but the mint mace. Oh man, finding this for the first time in the game really kind of made, oh, hold up there, stepping up in the aesthetic to weapons. This one has such a vibe, and I'm pretty sure it was pretty good early game, and until it was like, this is slow, and then you got something else, but yes. Aha, there it is, bruh. The gum and salt shards? What did I call it? I didn't call it the mint mace, did I? The salt mace. The salt morning star. Bruh, it's been a minute. There is the mint mace, or the mint mallet. Okay, you can check me in the comments for that, bro. There we see it in its render. That is the final render, yet with a hole in the middle. Oh, look at that, boy. The Black Ox hammer. The tier 3 hammer. Although we do have the Omni tool for convenience, and yes, it's sick. It's like a vibe like that. We should be able to customize individual Omni tools. Maybe that's a bit crazy now I think of it, but this was a vibe. Especially if you was using it with the Black Ox, like, armor set. Because could you use this to hit creatures? Pretty sure you could, right? You could use them weapons as both tools and weapons. There we can see it in its... Oh, bro, I've never actually noticed, but from the back, it actually looks like an ox beetle. Right? Bro, I've never actually noticed that. Oh my god. But yeah, you could use these in both situations. Concept for a grub, which, yeah, we had the grub and then we have it trailing under the ground. But then on the jerky rack, they obviously had the jerky rack as being something way more rudimentary before. This is fresh grub and this is cured grub. Obviously, jerky rack jerking it out. And there we have the little girth grub right there. Aphid. Hey, Fid. Yo, some different concepts for an aphid. Okay, I'm so glad they went with the one they did. Even though I like this. This is a little cutesy boy right there. But, I mean, come on. Look at it. It stands out. I mean, probably my eye drawn to it is recognizable, but yeah. The designs there are jokes. Obviously, we had the one that we got. Then we have a render for Max with the sprig bow. In a few instances, that drawing we saw earlier from the sprig bow, and that we saw that earlier as well. Now, that is the lady. Hold up, because that is the ladybird lava. Oh my god, I'm dreading them coming back, bro. I hate lava. That ain't too crazy to fight with. It's just mad annoying. There is the regular lava, and there is a render. Oh, here we go. Look at that. Look at that. Whoa! The regular lava and the ladybug lava. They're showing you that it is literally just a different texture, which I actually love. A lot of people give the variants in Grounded 2 a lot of shtick. I'm like, I fucking love them. I did grow up playing Pokemon, and shiny Pokemon were like crack for us kids of the 90s, but I love how they're able to make an entirely new vibe with just different textures. So I fully support this and the variants in Grounded 2 going forward. There we have the toenail scimitar. We just brought this up in the Grounded 2 video pond update biome gameplay because, well, we saw toenails, meaning this bad boy could come back. And I'm pretty sure it was Love Jupiter in the comments that said, don't even change it when it bring it over to Grounded 2. Obviously, up-res it and give it its little thing, but it is perfect as is. And yeah, the little dust mite fuzz there, the gnarly yellow toenail, and then the handle's just a vibe, man. Early concepts of the hammer. Oh, is this the tier 2 hammer? I think it is. That is the tier 1 hammer. That's not a hammer. That's a club, okay? But this is what it could have been. Oh, I don't even know what to call this. The Tikmakawahito. I literally don't know. The Tikmakawahito. Yeah, bro. That is going to come back in Grounded 2 as well because we just saw the ticks, but this was a ferocious fight in Grounded. When I saw that, I was like, no. Hold on, I think you got a little bit too far, bro. You are gnarling every one of those tooth into a bug and just ripping them apart. That's crazy. Another concept of the toenail scimitar right there. There is the hammer. I can't remember what it's called, bro. Is it the insect hammer? Can't remember. Oh my god, but there it is in all its goop. And there is, again, the tick in a render. Toenail smarter. Weevil. No way. No way, man. So this is like some early concept of a weevil, or are we just saying bugs in general? I think it's just low tier neutral bugs. We have a weevil, we have maybe a tick, we have like another little spidey. This is like a leaf bug, maybe some more aphids. I don't know. They're not all weevils, right? Not all weevils are born equal. But I'm looking at that like, yo, is this a shield bug? Is this a baby shield bug? Okay, and there he is himself. And I'm just going to show it off because the boys got it here for me for my birthday. But I got a little Grounded tee here that has a weevil on the front. Backyard snootos, bro. And him sucking on a little bowl of snootos. And I think it says Mushroom Madness. Weevil's faves. And it's got like some Lucky Charm aesthetic to it as well with some 90s girth right there. Then we have some more weevils weeveling about. Here we have Hoops in an anthill. Pete on a zip line, which actually makes me think, when zip lines come back in Grounded 2, do you think that the devs are going to put their own little zip lines all around the place that you have to like chuck silk rope into and then use? I think we will. There we have, whoa, Willow with the antlion hat, ladybird torso, chest plate, and the crossbow. Oh my god, it's been so long since we've had crossbow. Max just chilling at base. Then we have an early rendition of their backpacks. No, it's not an early rendition of their backpack. These are the Grounded 1 backpacks. Am I right? Maybe. Did they get new backpacks for the second game? Might have. There we have that goofy picture again of the goobers. Hey, you guys! Here we have a render concept of Hoops. Orb Weaver helmet. Hoops in the house. Pete, we saw that one earlier. Pete again. There we have Willow with the Weevil shield, the tier 2 axe, ladybug, chestplate, and Reeves. And then there's Willow. Hey, Willow! Yo, I mean, I've definitely seen this before. This is an absolute vibe. Max just looking like some pirate out here. This reminds me of the Goonies. I can't even lie. Hey, you guys! I did just say it a minute ago. That will put it in my head, but yeah. Max with the red ant set, the eye patch, and the sprig bat. And then Max rocking out, dude. I can't even lie. Every single time I see this, I think think this is Marcus Morgan as a kid in the 90s, and this is Chris Parker, the Grounded 2 dev as well, in the 90s. Yeah, so what was this? Was this the Black and Mandible dagger? Holy girth on toast! The sour staff. I used to love that electric vibe. When I first got it, I was like, no, this is out of this world. Then we have the tier 2 black ant, maybe the tier 3 black ant shovel. The ice spear? No, ice staff. The ice staff, the fresh staff, okay? Took me a minute there. The black ant shield. The tier 2 axe. No, we just saw the tier 2 axe. The tier 1 axe. Tier 3 axe. Axe. Oh, bruh, ain't no way. The sour battle axe. Oh my god. I've missed this so much. Not only did it chop down, but it was also so strong. Oh my god. Are we going to be getting something like that in Grounded 2? Are we getting every weapon from Grounded 1 in Grounded 2 eventually? Please. Love that. Here we have the haze with a few infected gnats. There you go. That's the vibe I love, man. The little purple glow with the weird, like, teal infected. Ooh, the infected wolfie, baby. First time seeing this in game was like, nah, that hit different, bro. They booky. Oh, infected mites, yeah. Yeah, boy. The infected weevil. The evil weevil. My bad, my bad. Ladybug. Lava. Oh, there's a little concept drawing of the infected lava and ladybug. I'm not even gonna lie, that looks like some fresh shit right there. Okay. The dust mites. Is it dust mite or infected mite? I don't know, but that might be some mighty mite. Then we have a render of the infected gnat, the mites, ladybug, the lava, evil weevil, infected brood, infected wolf spider, and there is the full set of the brood mother set. Look at that. Yo, so that is the tier 3 black ant wrench, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, this was the one that you could do AoE healing. We need AoE healing in Grounded 2 so badly. And then there's a nice little concept of it. Oh, yeah! Bro! Now, this didn't actually make it into the game. Let's have a little zoom in. Now, this, I don't think it did. I think it was in some promotion footage for Grounded 1. I'm not sure it actually made it into the game, unless it was like past New Game Plus 1, because I didn't really go past that point. But this was the infected ant shield. I can just imagine the parry putting in some like infected gunk. Whoa! That was it in the day, and then there it is in the night. No, that was night. This is day. It's the difference is literally night and day. Yeah, I mean, it is so vibalicious. If you haven't played Enshrouded, probably won't get it, but that is what that looks like. Enshroud gunk all over the shield. Not only that, it's a sick shape. Shield. I'm just thinking about the parry doing some infected girth right there. And there we have a concept design for it. Just a little bioluminescent girth glow in the middle. Sorry, iridescent. Love that. Next we have the Ant Queen staff. I'm trying to pull from a place that I haven't been in a while, but I'm pretty sure that's what that is right there. If you are nice to the Black Ant Queen. I can't remember. You get that? There is a nice little concept for it. Oh, I love it. Love the concept, bro. Bruh. For a minute, I just thought we've seen a brand new weapon. I don't remember the name of this. I'm going to call it the Sour Sledge. Maybe, because this, again, is like New Game Plus territory, right? Yeah. Oh, it's like the pickled pucker. Something like that, bruh. Yeah, the pickled mule. But yeah, absolutely vibey weapon. Really heavy weapon. The wood looks like some hard wood. It's giving me hard wood. There we have an insanely vibey concept design for it. I love the glow of the sour candy radiating around the end. Oh, no, don't remember the name of it. This is obviously, and again, New Game Plus, fresh sword. No, it's escaping me. It's evading me. There we get a lovely concept design for it. Again, look at that mood. Like, imagine it actually had that little bit of like extra girth in game. It would look so good. Now, I do know this one. That is the salt chipper. I know it because we got the sour puck axe in Grounded 2 in Omnibits recently, and I looked up to see what it was a reminiscent idea of, and that is the salt chipper. Then we have a moody design for it. The wallop jalapeno. I was like, what is that at first? Yep, that's what that is. I think this is a spicy hammer. Obviously, we got the Mask Stranger version in Grounded 2 that I've completely forgot the name of, but yeah, that's what that is. It always reminds me of like an anvil, like the smithing station is, right? Like a big, heavy metal thing that you would like bend and like shape metal on, and then they just put a stick to hold it. So sick. There's the moody concept design again. The flare of fire there. Oh, so good. The Tingle Tangle. I can't remember what this is called, bro. This is a sour sword again from New Game Plus, looking like some straight up new weapon that I've never seen before. I don't think I've actually held it in my hands. That's probably why. That's a vibe. And then obviously we have the concept for it, which again is even more fibrous. Look at that. That is vibey. Next we have the Snowflake Axe. I do remember that one. I think it's the Snowflake Axe. And then obviously its concept with a little bit of shimmering iciness to it. The Pepper Flake? The Pepper Axe? I don't know. It is a spicy variant of a New Game Plus axe, which is just, yeah. I mean, look at that. That is so... I love the way they leaned into these weapons. They weren't just like your typical fantasy. This is like a toy from like He-Man or some like 90s vibe right there, rather than just being like some just boring weapon. So good. And of course, we get the vibey concept image with the flare flyer flaming flongy right there. There's that gnat that we saw earlier. And we get a render of the Orb Weaver, the Wolf Spider, and the Black Widow. Oh my god! It's been a minute since we saw the Black Widow, yo! When's that coming back? I don't want it right away. I don't mind it being a bit down the road because I haven't even thought about the Black Widow in yonks. But there it is. Next, we get to see the Spiderlings. Interesting. Because we already know this is the Black Widow. This is any other spider in Grounded 1. What's this? This is the Summon Spiders. The Mum Gene Spiders. Yo, what happened to the summoning class, man? That was so sick. Can we get a look in the Haze Lab? Whoa, that was a pull from somewhere I definitely forgot. Speaking of forgotten girth, the Antlions. Now, how do they make these as interesting or different as they were in Grounded 1? We didn't have anything like this in Grounded 1. So how are they going to do it in Grounded 2 if they return? Obviously, we have the Scorpions now that go down under the ground, right? And then they come up and do their thing. So it's like, I don't know if this is going to hit the same if it doesn't do something new. But they will come over in the sandpit, the playground area, right? Oh, they are disgusting. And there is their armor set, Max sporting it there. Why did he have these jeans on it? Did he have ripped jeans on like that? I never knew. I never knew. And again, an absolute vibey concept art. Ooh, I love that it's like some like West Indies cowboy type shop. Completely forgot about Antlion's sword. That was a thing! Oh, it's so nice. There it is. Wait, what's bro wearing? Is this a Black Widow set? We have a Black Widow armor set in Grounded that I'm completely forgetting, or is that Wolf Spider armor set? Yeah, this looks majestic, bro. And there it is in all its majesticness. Oh, yeah. The thing I love about this is it really looked like a tier 3 weapon. It really looked like a big, strong, well-made weapon. Here we see the Ladybug palette and armor again in concept, and then we actually see the render of it. Next, we see Willow with the Orb Weaver hat on, with the crossbow in hand, with the termite logs hill. I can't remember what it's called. And then obviously a concept design for the crossbow and a render right there. Ooh, yeah, I miss crossbows, bro. Obviously now we got the harpoon gun. It is the crossbow of the water, but we can't use the harpoon gun out of water. So it's like we don't essentially have a strap or a crossbow out of water yet. Oh, I love these answers. Now I want to call this the pagoda, but it's not called the pagoda. It's called the padoga, right? The concrete structure which held the most insane base when you built inside. In fact, Timber Builds built a masterpiece. If you haven't checked it out on his channel, go and check it out because it will blow your girth off. Oh, okay. Now, I think I knew about these and I thought, oh, maybe these would come in the Pond update, but now we've seen a little bit of Pond gameplay. we have the new Koi armor set, which comes with new flippers. These are the Water Strider skates. And I'm going to say they were for the water, but hold on a minute. No, this is for skating across the water surface. That's exactly what this is for. So if we got those, we could then walk on the water surface. That could be something. I don't know if this is going to end up in the game, but if it did, that would be so fucking sick. And we would need Water Striders for this, so they could come in the pond update as well. Ooh, our first little bit of something coming in the pond update. Is it the first? I think we had something earlier, but still. Then we have the Gill Tube. We already know that is obviously returning in Grounded 2, and it is a fundamental piece in Grounded 1. The bubble helmet. Yes, sir. I can't remember the name of these, so I'm not going to try. But they're in Grounded 1, and they're going to be in Grounded 2. Some of them hold the oxygen bubble on top for us to get a little bit of... Then we have the Pond Lab Eye. I don't even know. It's like some weird observatory that had all the mushroom sprouts in there, the mussel sprouts in there. Then we have the underwater daggers that I'm not sure we need in Grounded 2 because the Omni tool is a thing, but I'm not... Yeah, I think the axe kind of does them gnarly routes around the park as it is, so maybe we won't need this again. Oh, there it is. Speaking of the Koi armor, the legendary Koi armor, the first Koi armor scale set in Grounded 1. We did see Pete rocking it earlier, but to see it in this nice rendition right there, it's rendery. And I'm only just noticing these on the arm. We have them again higher up with the new set. Yes, sir. I thought this was such a good set. The fin flops, they are returning in Grounded 2 as well. Another bone dagger, a render of the lighting underwater in the pond in Grounded 1. Max, I never noticed that the teens were holding their breath. The reason that doesn't register in my brain is you run out of stamina underwater and the team goes... So I've never, like, pictured them... Pretty sure they talk as well. But obviously, underwater here next to the T-Rex with some eelgrass and the trident. Speaking of the trident, there's a nice little render of the trident right there. And look at the Pond Lab Observatory and the leaf we just saw. A nice little pond shot. The underside of a lily pad with wax. A bird's eye view of a lily pad. No wax, but a nice little vibe down there, the side there. Little house into the pond. Willow with the red ant set entirely and the club. There it is in all its rendered glory. And also a look at the fire ant club. Yeah. So I wonder when the fire ant comes, we're going to get a whole new array of fire ant weapons because I'm pretty sure they switched up for Grounded 2 rather than just giving us all clubs for the ants. And there is a concept of the early club and then the one we actually got in the end. There is a concept of the Weevil gas mask, the Gnat gas mask, one of them. And there is Hoops using that in the haze area. So here we go. This is the harpoon gun that was cut from Grounded 1. Obviously, we've actually seen the new harpoon gun in Grounded 2, which is different entirely. It's not the bag full of air that as you hold you like that to pressure out a harpoon. It's on a more like elastic band mechanism that it's kind of like a crossbow, right? That you let fire. Yeah, there you go. They had all these different iterations. I've known about this for a minute because I remember seeing it, but yeah, I love it. It had one without no handle. You had the bags. You had different like harpoons coming out of it, different renditions, different love it. Then we get a look at the harpoon bolts. Now, another one of the images that we're seeing that is showing us something that we could be potentially getting in Grounded 2. This is the only bolt we have in Grounded 2 right now. I think actually it's this one. It's one of these, right? It's the most basic of all basic bolts that a bolt could be. But they did say they want to give us more variations down the road. And we said fresh, spicy, salty, sour, all of that. But here you can see a few different renditions. I don't know if this is like infused and then this is like some other stuff, but you've got all of these here with like the poison goopy greenness on the end. You have some here that are made from sunken bones. And then, yeah, the purple girth. Not sure what that is, but it gives us an indication what harpoon bolts could be like coming into Grounded 2 in future updates. Now, here is a plethora of pond mats. A lot of these ended up in the game. Again, I'm going to say the harpoon bolts. Obviously, we see that. Tadpole jerky all the way across the top. Maybe some different jerky. The fins, pond moss, wax, sunken bones, eelgrass, koi scales. But there is a few here that never ended up in the game. One is this bag, which is the harpoon bag, which would have been whatever we used for the harpoon bag. Two is these are a few different bolts. That's not that crazy, but this is a little bit of a goop. Three is cattail fluff that we know is coming into the pond update because we've seen it used for the diving bell bed. This is like what we would have made the harpoon gun out of, which is I'm gonna say this is cattail store. No, I'm not. This is horsetail store. This is like a bamboo that we're getting in grounded 2. This would have been used, like I said, for the harpoon. This is like some lily pad leaf. Never ended up in the game. Could end up. Don't know what it is. That's there. And then this looks like some food. Maybe it's like some pond food or something like that. It looks like something that's been brushed up into the grinder and made a slurry of. But hey, more stuff that could be coming to grounded 2. Here is a picture of the switch and light mechanism down in the pond lab and that biome. You have to go under there and switch all 3 switches. Early renditions of the underwater lamp. Don't know the name of it again, but this one's like really rudimentary. Just hold with the strap. This one's got a bone. This one's using twiddly twiddle technology. These ones are all kind of similar and kind of what we got in the end, right? Some more concepts of the bone daggers. A higher tier bone dagger? Oh, maybe that is a thing you do in grounded 1, right? You had the lower and then you had the higher to cut through different tier routes. There they are. Ooh, mama! The diving bell spider. Yeah, the original, man. That was a moth I just killed my finger. Sorry, moth. Oh, my door's open, bro. Oh, my tea's gone cold. I wonder why. Because I got caught up in the recording. So the original dive bell spider with the, like, air pocket around its, I don't know what you call that, torso, back end. Yeah, is actually the technology that we're using to make the diving bell bed, which keeps us all in there and breathing, right? Yeah, I love this. I love the concept roaring, I guess, of that. And then to match that, we had the water boatsman. I was going to say, when we saw the water boatsman earlier, it didn't have that, like, air pocket underneath its body like this one does, which is, I don't know why it's such a vibe, but it is. I don't know why, again, but these remind me of a sailboat. Like being in a boat and having 2 oars out the side. That's what I see the water boatsman legs as. Here we have some designs of the tadpoles, and they were even considering a different version with legs. I'm gonna say they never went for that because they didn't want us actually hoping and thinking we were gonna get frogs, because they said no frogs. Even in grounded 2 they said no frog, but there is a little bit of tadpole girth. Now this is mad. We never got any of this in grounded 1 unless I'm being completely which I might be, but this reminds me of the new ant bait, the new bug bait that you would make. Although, come to think of this might be the sandwiches that we feed as summons or to the ant queen. But it looks like the bait that you use for ants, scorpions, and everything else in grounded 2. But I'm looking at this and it's like, it's a little gelatinous steak right there. I'd like to chomp me some of that. This just looks to me like tadpole. I don't know if you'd need tadpole bait, but maybe this was a summon of some sort. Here we have loads of different concepts for the trident, even though they're so similar in design. Pretty sure this end one here is what we got, but yeah. This is what you've got to think about this team when they make this game. They go through this many of the weapon before they finally decide, yeah, that's the girth we want. Which you gotta respect it, bro. No! Here we have another concept design of the gill tube and bubble helmet. Well, the early designs of them. And we have Beta Max with the dead expression again. Obviously, these are all different iterations. This is more like a mask to filter and breathe. These are more like diving apparatus. And then these are like different materials to make the bubble helmet, different like folds and creases and designs and bubble shapes. But yeah, girthy concept designs. And here we go again. I used this in a short just yesterday. This is different designs for the koi scale armor set that we got in grounded 1. You look over here on the side, you have different iterations which they went through before we got what we got. I like this one down here because this is like a samurai. That's like some kitten type shit, some Hello Kitty diving kit. This is closer to what we actually got, and then this is some more aquatic scale looking vibes. So good, so so good. And you can kind of see where we got the one we got in Grounded 2 from, right? Here is a high poly render of the Battletoad, yeah, which we're about to see another picture or render of right there. If you don't know, this was actually a collaboration that Grounded had with Battletoads. Battletoads obviously being a legendary character from the 90s, obviously Battletoads. When I saw this, I was like, yo, wait, what? Wait, is that? It is. So they collaborated and put him in the park right there. Or they put a Battletoad in the park right there, yeah. It's so 90s. Everything was just masculine. You got a toad? Let's make it masculine. Love it. Obviously, there's a few little images and pictures of it right there just to show its girth. Go on, lad. Come on, look at that. Look at that, bro. That's so sick. Next, we have the man looking all nonchalant, just walking about in his pants. I was always tripped out about this. When I first met the man, I always thought it was Tully. I thought it was Tully fused with an ant. But obviously, he used the muscle sprouts to fuse with him and like some human DNA. And bro is a mad scientist if I ever met one. Here's another picture, a closer picture of the red ant helmet set. It's funny because it's in a different order, so it's a different slide, I guess. Yo! Hold on! So is this the fire ant set? I'm only saying it because it's like a darker red, but if not, this is a new or an early concept for an ant armor set that never ended up making it in the game. But we saw those big green goopy eyes earlier that they were thinking about going for. It was a red ant that we saw, but it could be any ant, right? Yo, I love this. Why? Why did we not get that? That's so dope. And I even like the fact that this is all like, I don't know, it looks like it's made out of seaweed. The way it's like ripped and like doing that right there. Yeah, I'm gonna zoom in on that helmet. I love that, bro. It's so vibey. The green, big, goopy eyes just sit so well. I think it's because it's cut off here and it has like fangs either side of the head with Betamax nose smile in between. Looks so sick. And it must be because the next slide is also more ant. Is that the fire ant set? It might be. Oh, I don't know. Still, early ant concept. Here we can see the bee set. It's not the wasp set, is it? It might be the wasp set. It's the bee set. It's the wasp set. I don't know. Either way there, you can see it with its palette and its concept. Oh my god, that's so vibey. So vibey. And here you can see it in action. I always thought this was so weird, the helmet. It's like someone's like makeshift made like a superhero mask out of like a paper plate and cut holes in it. It looks like Spooderman inspired. Do you know what I'm saying? And then we can see Max with it in a render. Look, he looks sick. I can't lie. I love the renders. I love the concept. I love Grounded. Speaking of concepts, here is a goated concept design for the Black Ox Beetle armor set. This was one of the best sets in the game. This is when they really, like I said, started kind of specking into the fantasy elements. This is like He-Man. This is like Gladiator, Viking type, which I love, which we kind of have seen with the Founders Edition, right? And the Minotaur and those type of vibes. Yeah, it's such a good set. And then we can see Max sporting that set right there. It's a vibe. Again, loving the render. There it is, T-posing. That's not Max, that's a shadow. Then we can see the battle axe in action over in the upper yard. Sour battle axe again. And there we see a nice render of the battle axe, a few different angles. You can see Max fully extended with the rusty spear. Oh yeah, look at that with the block as well. Switching up to the Coltana, the spicy Coltana, obviously the Grounded 1 version. Max looking devilishly vibey there. And then we have a render of the rusty spear, the Coltana, and the Orb Weaver set in its concept, obviously. And there it is in its full render. A picture of that torch we saw earlier, just randomly in there. A render of the sap torch, not the sconce, right? Then we see Pete with the Firefly helmet, again with the Firefly helmet in the Termite Hill, because there's another Firefly helmet concept right there. And a render. Every concept has a render and some in-game screenshot, I guess. Here we can see the underwater lantern, the high poly version, although it's not because it actually has textures, no color. I don't know if it's high poly, but it's still girthy. And then the Frankenline. I'm not gonna lie, and tell me in the comments if you felt the same way. But when I first found the Frankenline, I was so like, oh, no, this is insane. Obviously, it's an Etch-a-Sketch, a LED Etch-a-Sketch, right? Rather than the magnetic sulfur, phosphorus, magnetic thing that they used to use in the old one. But as soon as I saw this back in the day, I thought this down here was a door. I thought this door was going to open and lead us down into a dungeon. And the way that we would open that door is working out like a maze on here, or like drawing a certain thing on the Frankenline. It wasn't until like many hours of doing absolutely nothing but drawing every single possibility I could. What I thought it was like a spiral. I thought you had to do a spiral all the way around and then get to the top and it would open because the eyes were like spiraling or something, but nothing happened. And then I looked up and then there was nothing there for it, so I gave up. But that would have been so sick. Like I say, a lot of the grounded stuff just evokes inspiration and creativity. Next we have the Black Ant Mandibles daggers. What is this? Why does this look like a different version? I'm completely and utterly drawing blank on that. This is from the Hot and Hazy update over in the sandpit, but I can't, unless it's, did we get like a dagger from the antlion as well? I don't know, but that's looking earthy. And then another shot of that. Then we have Max in the clover, an early concept of the clover. I guess that's kind of what we ended up with, so yeah, there it is. Then we have Max with the grub gear. That is exactly what we ended up with, and there you can see Willow sporting that right there, and then Max sporting it, wearing it, girthing it right there. So maybe Max did have these ripped jeans. But here we can see the aphid slippers, and there is the render up close, and another shot right there. Then we get the Tazy T and the assistant manager boss, mini boss right there, and we get to go through a few images looking at those. What was this one called? It's just his assistant manager. Yeah, crazy. There's the Tazy T. There's the, no, that's the Tazy T. This is the Flamey Flea. I can't remember, but these were the robots, right? These are like, I'm just realizing this is literally a burgle head, but minus a lot of it. There is a red anthill. It's funny because even looking at that could be grounded too. Like the anthills are so spot on between games. Yo, there we get to look at the RIP bug pet tombstones. Anything that you could get from a pet, if you played on WoW and it died, it would get a tombstone and you could have a little something for it. They need to bring these back for buggies in Ground 2 for real. And we are getting pets down the road, so they'll probably do that as well. Okay, yeah, they're vibing. They are. I don't know what it is, but the best thing about them is you could make something from them, right? If you have a few different iterations of these, you could make a graveyard. You could make a whole thing out of it. Or at the very least, you could make a tombstone and an area for your lost bug. But yeah, I always thought these were quite sick, but I never really got them because I never played them back in the day. There is Max in the Might Muffs. Can't remember what they're called, but it's like a hat that keeps you warm. Yeah, something like that. Ooh, interesting. Here is a pupa leather version of it. Maybe this would have been a higher tier cold resistant hat right there, because that's the one we got, right, using grubs and mice. So yeah, they were actually going to do a pupa, unless we got pupa and I'm being there's a high poly Akon armor set picture. There is the picture from earlier. So yeah, we did get the whole mask. We didn't get this. Is that some Naruto shit? I don't know. Why is one hole? Why would you ever do that to yourself? Unless it was like a bow build, so you were like, ah! Then we get to see the Dungeons and Dragons die, the different dices from that game. Obviously, we see them in the game, and then you would have to roll this to a 20 to get the mutation. Can't remember what that is. Mine's drawing a blank. Here we have the different notebooks from Omnium. Is this from Omnium? Maybe this was just from Wendell. I can't remember, but there were different notebooks around the park, obviously. Not the park, the garden. Here you can see someone's putting noughts and crosses on it. Is the legendary S there? There it is. I knew it. I knew it. Bro, I remember actually being of an age where we created this, where it was a thing going round and we would be like, yeah. It would be like 6 lines you would do, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you would cross the lines and then do a triangle top and bottom. And if you was a little bit more ooh, you would do a little ooh, and it would become the S. No, I actually remember doing that in primary school, bruh. Back when the dinosaurs were walking around. But it's so funny to see that it actually went worldwide and everyone was doing it. I don't know if you know that S, but that S is legendary. If you have a look at the lunchbox in a few different, the Pebble Village lunchbox. In fact, this reminds me of something nowadays again. Like you can get these cartons of drink. Same kind of art style. Here we have the upper yard near the toolbox where you get all of this rust from these nuts and bolts and nails. But the thing I think we're looking at here is the screwdrivers. Ooh, yeah, look at that screwdriver. Oh, there we go. So then we get a render of the grips, pliers. There you can see them actually there. Then we randomly just go over to the Moldork Castle. Okay. Now, if you grew up in the 90s and you saw this, you would have known this looked exactly like some toy that you would have got back in the day. Yep. And it used to have a button in it to make noise, and you make your action figures all around it. And it was just such a like vibe for toys back in the day to be these big, massive sets of like just weirdness, like weird, out there, radical toy designs. This was definitely an insane thing to see in game. And like, come on, I wanted to make this my base so badly, but I think there was just too many mosquitoes around it. And it's like, oh, you had the tiger mosquitoes over there. No thanks. But obviously we saw it in game. Now we get to see the render of it, and it's crazy to have it here in the highest of definition. Just there, like, yo. You used to have these toys, and they used to have like little trap doors, and you press buttons, and you push this and push that, and it was... This is a vibe for me, I can't even lie. Obviously, it even had a hinge there, so it would have opened up as well, and you get to play with it. Ah, bro. Leave down in the comments if you remember them toys back in the 90s, bro. Yeah, look at that. It's sick. Okay, lotus flower or a lily pad flower. More lily pads with some wax underneath and the flowers. And then a render in the engine. This would have been Unity back when they first made Grounded 1, but there you can see an early dev concept, I guess. Oh, hold up. Hamster bones down underground. Oh, a absolute vibey picture of the upper yard. I love this. The mushrooms just set it off so much. Max flying off the ivy on the wall. Pete pointing at a screwdriver in the upper yard. Another picture of the upper yard with some red ants broken about. Oh yeah, the tree stump. Now that was a vibe back in the day. Back in Grounded 1, I can't even lie. Max just aura farming up in the hedge. The Tullies garden gnome that says the Tullies on this board here. This used to always trip me out. I was like, why is there a gnat, a glowing gnat in that like glass? I don't know what that is, but I used to see them back in the day and used to have like flowers in them, or like even sometimes like some weird like magnetic clock in them, but it's like a glass cup. A few more images of that, and of course the render of that front to back, the Tullies, there you can see it. And just noticing the fly is derped out of his mind. I don't remember what this is called, this whole thing here, but you had the 3 lasers come in, and it was this where you embiggened. Then you get an early design, a drawn design of the, obviously, house in the background. We have that, what we just said there, and early yard. Yeah, that's vibey. Just noticed it actually has an Omnium symbol in the middle. The spacer, my bad, we get it. A few more shots in here of that, and the one that we just saw drawn of the house. This is really early on. There's nothing built up. A tulip. The mixer, the viber. There it is. Oh, bro, at night it was such a vibe. And it still is in Grounded 2, to be honest. Seeing it from afar. Yeah, I mean, that's the mixer we have in Grounded 2, right? We don't have this big mixer yet. A few more pictures of the mixer, and obviously a render to go with it. Some more cattail stalks poking out of the pond. A few more images of those. A close-up render of the cookery. Charcoal, normal. Charcoal, normal. Charcoal, normal. Charcoal, normal. Charcoal, normal. Yoked Girth! In all his action figure glory, there is your boy. Oh my god. This is what has created the girth throughout Grounded. That's where I first picked up on the yoked girth and was like, what? Girth? And then completely and utterly ran with the girth since then. And we've influenced the Grounded community entirely over here on my channel and in my community. We even had the devs, Marcus Morgan, saying yes, and we are bringing more girth to Grounded 2.
With what it means for Grounded 2, it means we're gonna keep doing what we're doing. We're gonna bring us more girth.
I can't even lie, this bray here, he's the one that started it all. We just carried the girth on our shoulders for him. Obviously, here we can see a render of the girthy chap right there. We have the Barbie car, something along those lines, right? Unless it's a yoked girth car. I don't know why he's driving a pink car up there. Oh, it's Christie's car. Christie's car. Ooh. Oh, it's Christie's car. Christie's car. Ooh. Here we we have some renders of the fireplace, the pine table, the pupa leather couch, the green side table, and the nat lamp. The pine table, oh, I'm just noticing. I don't know if I ever noticed this in the game, but it has an antlion and an aphid on the side of it. That's jokes. Pupa leather ottoman. Ooh, some drawings for the pupa leather set. The pupa leather couch and ottoman set. Yeah, I honestly can't get enough of those concept drawings. They're so good. Speaking of which, let me tell you about the streets where I live. End up 6 feet in a ditch. Yeah, love it. It just gives a different, like, I don't know what it is, dynamic to the already familiar furniture. Grass table, lamp. Oh, okay. So, again, they've put the aphid and antlion. I mean, it could be an ant, but I'm looking at that like, oh, that's a little thing they had, a little vibe they had going on with a few raw science cones and triangles around the place. But this is super interesting because this is different fireplace designs for grounded. I love this. I know we got this big bespoke mantelpiece, but this, a smaller one as well. Yeah, I even love this one in the middle. Oh my God, if we had got different variations for these, that could have been sick. Or just two, just the big one and the small one. Then we get to see the render of them, obviously, the full fireplace they've got, a nice little setup with everything right there in the base. Oh, the ash cement. Whoa! Damn, I hope they get a glow up and come back and grind it too for real. File, coffee grinder, or at least a coffee container that was then used for like some crazy tech in grounded, obviously. Tire iron. That tulip again. Is it a tulip? I don't know because it's yellow. The bucket. Obviously, you know, you need that bucket, bro. Oh, the legendary army men. I don't know if you grew up in the 90s, but these were actually a vibe. Everybody had a bucket of army men. If not, you had a handful that you used to chuck around and play with. Hoops on a leaf for scale, I guess. This is a picture and a half. Look at that. Yes, sir. And this signifies now that the concepts are over and we're moving more into the screenshot part of the Onyx-Pro. Now, I will be going through these a lot quicker because we have a lot of them and we don't need to sit there and look at every single one of them and describe them. But as we go through, obviously, if anything pokes out, we'll be like, hey, yo, that's poking out. Oh, I love that. That's such a good art style. These are really good images of hoops for some reason in Grounded 1, and they just go through some absolute vibes. I'm pretty sure it's to like show scale, but some of them are immaculate. I can't even lie. Look at that. That's art, bruh. And we just have so many vibes over here. Bro, whoever took these pictures, I'm just like, hats off because, my little raisin boy. Wendell right there. They're just so well done. It's like an actual photographer took these, or somebody who actually knows about getting the perfect angles, the like right FOV, and just lighting it there. Honestly, look at these. These are so good. And listen, I will actually make a Google Doc of everything that you've seen here in today's video, so you can go ahead and look at them for yourself if you want to take a deeper dive, because some of them are just yes. Oh, they're just like, whoa. Did we ever get that close to the crow in the game? I don't even know if we did, and it didn't look like that. I swear to you, bro. That's what I'm saying. These images are absolutely vibey. Look at them. Yeah, whoever done this is being paid to do this, bro. I tell you that. What? How has Hoops killed all of these sizzling bombardiers? Oh, shit. She's stuck now. Damn, I think we saw that one earlier. Paperclip, a banana. Oh, look at that. Like, tell me that isn't art, bro. Bro's trying to get some of that blood. Oh, he's already got a sack full. Koi, ladybug, Tully's footprints, yeah. Boot prints from early on. The Oreo with the black ants. I think we saw that one earlier, or maybe we didn't. It's just, oh my God. An old PC monitor. If you know the smell of that color. More roots, underground, termite vibes. Oh, okay. Maybe we do have a few more concepts and render models in this Onyx-Pro. There is obviously the Orchid Mantis in all of its... Whoa, okay, back up, bro, back up. Insane boss fight. It was so big and nasty. I'm pretty sure it still, to this day, is the strongest creature in Grounded, because we put it over in Playground against every boss that we've got and every creature we've got in Grounded too, and it still absolutely clears, bro. Here's another image of the salty stuff. Yeah. What? We don't have a salty staff, the fresh staff. Okay. And here's another concept of the sour staff. And then they're putting all the textures and everything there, showing us the final work and the skin modifier plus subdiv, the subdivisions on all of this, the bevel on the bottom, and the sub smooth and the dev talk. But that is there. There we get the screwdriver. This is what I was asking for. This is what I was looking for earlier when I said, I think it's a screwdriver we're looking at. The render of a screwdriver, wrench again, spanner, 15 and 14 mil. Oh, these mother... The tiger mosquitoes. Yeah, that's the look you give. You give the side eye to those tiger mosquitoes and you dip, man. Nah, we good. Tadpole, stink bug, roly-poly. I haven't seen that messed up, squished little face in a minute, bruh. There's the ordinary mosquito. Trudy koi in the pond. There it is, chasing down. This is the green shield bug. Now, for anybody who sees this and knows what we've seen with the yellow shield bug variant, you can see why I'm saying it's completely different, because it is. Then we have the firefly, a koi carp again, spiny water flea, bombardier beetle, black ox beetle, another bombardier beetle. Look at the vibe, man. The hair is... Bro, I just realized bro has a tash. This is a promotion art piece for Grounded's Pond Update. I put it in here because obviously Pond Update is around the corner for Grounded 2. There's my boy Burgle! Oh, bro, miss you, man. I haven't seen you in so long. Jesus. His little chef hat out there. Yeah, that's crazy. Oh, no, that's when he puts the chips in as well, isn't it? Oh, he's dead. We won't talk about what happened in Grounded 2, huh? There he is in all his rendered glory. Grounded. So now I have another load of screenshots before we get on to the fan art concept designs and ideas. And stick around because some of them are because the Grounded 2 fans are so goated, they come up with some crazy shit. So now a lot of these are gonna be pond inspired, of course, to get you in the vibe for the new pond update. But yeah, let's go. Obviously we got so much of the pond creatures. There's the Frankenline, and that is exactly what I was talking about earlier. That was the spiral I thought we had to do. I might have seen this exact picture back in the day and thought, oh, that's what we need to do, and then spend hours doing it but getting nowhere. This is for the Shroom and Doom update for Grounded, June 30th. Back in the daisy, Termite Hill. Oh yeah. Oh, the Wasp Queen. I can't even lie, it was a vibe. A scary one, but it was still a vibe nonetheless. There is Pete with the handy nat. Some of these images I've taken from Grounded 1's website with all their promotions. Sometimes they put out, oh, a new update's gone live, so I've taken that picture from it, or taken, whatever you want to say, and then I've put it over here. I mean, look at that, bro. This is someone's playground back in the day. Oh my god, so good. There you go. Now you may actually know, and actually I'll find it and put it up, but Grounded 2, when they put out Playgrounds is now live, it had a very similar picture to this, and this is how goated the devs are, because even years later they've done exactly the same thing with their new picture for Playgrounds. I'm looking at that and I'm just like, yeah, I love that. Here we have some more Playgrounds nefariousness with hundreds of hoops, and here we have all of the different characters you can spawn in Playgrounds, and I'm not sure if this is just like a mod or you could actually get these in Playgrounds or something like that, because I've seen people running around in them. But yeah, anyway, some more stuff right there. And then, yo, hey you guys, thanks for 20 million players, which is crazy. This is obviously for the first game, but the best thing about this entire thing is, well, if you don't know, this is inspired by the Goonies. We were saying about it earlier, and obviously I think this is like almost a one-to-one of some promotion art for the Goonies, especially with the skull down here with all the coins and treasure. But hey, they said that Grounded is actually heavily inspired by the Goonies, an adventure that kind of goes awry and out of hand, and it's like, wow, with your friends. So seeing that there, yes sir. The classic silhouette of Max in the New Game Plus remixer with all the raw science-ness right there. Love that. The Red Ant Queen, all the teens. This is some New Game Plus-ness, because all of the stuff they're holding is the weapon. And this here is like the Black Ant Queen stuff. I can't remember. But yeah, you can see even in the background now we have the Yoked Station. Oh, the Termite Organ. And what chandelier is that? I can't even remember. But obviously infused bugs. Here you you can see the Fire Spicy Star, the Infected Broodmother set, and a few of those infused Tiger Skeetos. No thanks. Nah, I'm good, bruh. This is an actual image for New Game Plus. Like, all of the candies in the background change in New Game Plus from the original sour, spicy, and mint. Pets. There we go, Grounded 1 pets. All of the different Ant Queens. Again, the remixer. We got some Mushroom Chair, Bros Chillin', the Crossbow, the Hedge Broodmother, some Mushroom Girth. The Shroom and Doom update is out now. Don't forget to go check it out. And then this, bruh, the Milk Molar. This is actually the promotion poster for Milk Molars. Milk Molar being this like vitamin like sweet that you got, because back in the day, I don't know if you remember them, you used to get vitamin gummies. Bro, I've been Americanized by too much American media in my brain. But you used to sit and chew them, and they used to be nice as well, because kids would hate taking their vits, bro. So they had to make them nice, and this gives us max health, max stamina, max hunger, max thirst, max mutation slots, max ammo, max resource, and max food stats. It's a shame that all the other teams didn't get anything. It was all just for max. Slurp the core and get yoked. But honestly, I doubt very many people have seen this, because this doesn't feel like it was in-game, right? So that's why I included it. They're hot and hazy grounded promotion art right there. Another one. Now this for me is like, yo, this is when we first start thinking about the grounded animated series, because we can see them all here in like an animated type beat in a way, and then Burgle over here being like some punk rocker superhero. Yeah. Yes! We got some of the haze, the waft emitter, an anthill, the Christmas stuff that came. Yeah, that was crazy. Again, this was another update. The wasp. The wasps, Grounded 1, bro. Ooh, do we have wasp drones in Grounded 1? All of the infected broodmother stuff, like the brazier and thrones. Another update, infected update. More handing out update. Infected broodmother. That's all I remember her saying to me when she talked to me. Yeah, I mean, this is the single most vibrant monstrosity in Grounded's history. Nothing has topped this so far, even in Grounded 2, let's be honest. Even though we had some big bosses like Axel and King Dozer, they're sick and they're on their own level, but they're not as... This bad boy, girl, mother. Another update pick, another update pick, another update pick. These are all just a few update picks from like Playguns and stuff. Hey, you guys! A close up on that. Ooh, the infused wasps that just completely destroy everything, like kamikazing into your build. Yeah, Willow's got it. Willow's got it right. Oof, look at that picture with the hedge brood. Okay, another update. Oh, I've missed the Mantis set. The old Mantis set was hard, man. These are just more update pictures. The infused crossbow. Oh, infused weapons. Crazy. Yeah, I'm thinking this is Playgrounds, right? Definitely some Playgrounds update. Oh, the famous Mushroom Castle from Grounded 1. Whoever built that. I think it's the devs who did this, right? Might not have been. It might have been some players. Yes, so good. More broodmother. Zipline tech. Ziplines are coming just around the corner, man. Yes, sir. A nice little shot. A little weevil. Some spinies. A close-up of a mosquito. No, way too close, bruh. Someone's built a toilet outside. A water closet. A dunny. An outhouse. Waterloo. And Hoops is just taking a fat dump in it. That's what that is. Okay. We had hanging bugs. Stinkers. Just the Nightmare Before Christmas curled tree with a silhouette with the sun setting. An exploding orb weaver up in the rose bush. Teens saying hi. The Battletoad. This time we got all of the teens scattered over it. They're all wearing the marksman cap for some reason. Some night vibes with the Battletoad. Someone's nice little armory with a few sets of armor. The OG wolf spider looks butt naked compared to Grounded 2's version, right? No fur at all. Ooh, a nice little sunset vibe. Ooh, I didn't think you can get better than that, but you did. Ladybuggy. Oh, the corp trying to suck Pete off. Oh, yo. The jack-o'-lantern that appeared only in the month of October actually was a vibe. Christmas lights, again seasonal. Inside the hedge lab, teens messing about, running about. The Frankenline, another little picture of that. Someone's base. This was like more of like a compound. I kind of like that. Yo, back in the day before pallets, when you made a little something out of like scaffolding and just chucked all your stuff in there. Yes, sir. That's how early this screenshot is from. Pete looking crazy with it. Firefly action, some more Firefly action. Yeah, dude. Some grub action, some gnarly grub action. Orb Weaver, nice jumping arrow shot in the haze. Some haze explosion. Clovers. The ants seemingly carrying a candy kernel. Burgle, my boy. The lava dagger and the bombardier bug. Was that what we had the close-up from earlier? It might have been. More of the same going through. Yeah, this is vibe. I kind of like the whole bombardier vibe. Here we have some bees being about, being bees. Ladybug, a grass plank fortress. Yo, nah, that's actually smart. This is all in the water, right? They do it on foundations, but look how they've done the entrance. The entrance is literally out of stem pallets. You can just walk all over it. That is sick. Max and Willow vibing in the masks. Oreos. Aphid. Anthill. Sunset. Oh, an antlion breaking the surface of the sand, ready to absolutely wage war on our faces.
Let's be honest.
More haze shots. Oh, the pet house. Back in the day, you used to have an option to send resources back to your pet. So what you used to do, when you were out and about, you would pick something up and then you would send it to your pet. If you trapped them inside a building, I mean, you could put this in 4 walls and a door. You could essentially keep sending it back, and sending it back, and then you wouldn't have to go home. You could just go out and do your stuff and then keep sending it. When you got back, it was a massive pile of mats and you would just sort it into chests. It was so good for when you had inventory full, but then they patched it and it was whatever. Then we got the teens. Then we got that shot again of all 4 teens. Oh, hold up. Hold up. That means we have circumnavigated back to the start where we get to see this questionable yoked girth character that we didn't ever see. It's kind of giving me whatever that word was. Polarize, polarific, polarankic vibe that yoked girth has in Grounded 2 with the eye there. But that means the screenshots are over and it's time to get into the fan-made concepts and art and ideas and designs. Yes! I've been waiting for this. I love it. So, boom! Here we are with a fan design. I'm not going to know any of the fans that actually designed this, so if you did, and it's you or whoever you are out there, big ups to you for this. Obviously, I've just clicked and downloaded it. I'm right here. So, B rope. Just the idea to tie off rope and be able to climb and swing could easily be seen in the game, right? And I'm not gonna lie, this here looks like the zip line anchor, right? You remember the one you tie off the zip line on? But B rope, I'm not sure why it's called B rope. What's a bee got to do with it? Maybe the stinger of a bee here. But anyway, seeing the characters swing back and forth on it, I love it. And being able to climb up, oh yeah. Next, I'm gonna say from the same person, a slingshot, which has bombs, clay, pebbles, and glue. Wow, okay. So the bomb, here you can see a character like skadonk in it onto a spider, it blowing up. The clay dashing up more as like a sniper shot. The pebbles, there's more of a shotgun cluster spreading out. And then glue, being able to stick the bug in place. I love this. And they've even drawn a little in-game like POV of what it would look like. I love the creativity, and straight away it's like, definitely could see that in the game. Have we seen anything like that in the game yet? We've had the turret, I guess, does these kind of ammos, but next we have a transport cart by Drake. Yes, yes, so good. I don't know how it realistically worked in Grounded because how bumpy the ride would be, but it looks like they've put straight away a ladybug at the front with a brace over its back and then just run a simple carriage off of it, right? With some acorn tops for the wheels, grass planks for the base, and then weed stems and crude rope to just build up. They've even put a petal on a storage chest. So you could even put stuff in storage while you carry, planks and stems. Yes, and I think it's even got a light here off the side. Yeah, goated idea. I could definitely see this in the game, right? Next, we have something called GGC. gear color changer. That's GCC. But this is a bucket of sidewalk chalk. Back in the 90s, it was a massive thing to have chalk, draw on the floor, do your hopscotch, and just go mental with it, right? This is a concept idea for essentially a dye station. This is a 20-pack of washable sidewalk chalks, as you can see right here, and the character in the middle has to go up to it to change color of their armor, of their weapon, of their girth, which I thought is such a good idea, bruh. Like, come on. They've literally done all of the legwork for you with this. How that's not in the game, I don't know, because some of these have been posted over on the official Grounded website as well. That's where I pulled a lot of them. Not all of them, but still. Next, we have the concept for buggies way before Grounded 2 was even conceptualized. These were taken from 6 years ago. I know that because I remember that. And you have a tier 1 and tier 2 buggy straight off the rip, a red soldier ant with a harness around its antenna, and you just got a like leaf with some footrest here. And then the tier 2 is pretty much the same, more leaf, some more weed stems and petal to give you back support. Come on, clap it up. This ended up being in the game eventually, and I'm not gonna lie, the devs probably took some inspiration from it. Next we have some iridescent girth, just some Grounded fan art of the broodmother, the hedge broodmother. Just in the vein of a concept design, they've just done so well. This looks like actual dev work, right? Yeah, it's a vibe. Next we have some fan ideas for furniture in Grounded 2. In Grounded, this is so good. This is like a TV stand, again, from the 90s. Your classic magazines in the middle, some DVDs and videos either side, but the TV, no, I love it. The fact that it's just got a pinned picture of a aphid on the front kind of reminds me of the dresser that we had that didn't have a mirror, it just had a picture on it of something. But also we can see a tall standing lamp, which I love. They've also given us a few different iterations of this, and I'm like, yo, either this is some fan art or this is like just some concept art from the devs. I couldn't work it out. I think it's fan art, but yeah, look at that with the little clay bottom with the twig up to the top with some like, what, wasp paper? Oh, I want that. I want that. I want it. Oh, it's mushroom, because you can see like the gills of the mushroom inside. Yeah, that is such a good vibe. Yes, give us that TV set as well. Oh my God, I don't know why. It's just reminded me of The Sims, like the first one and like the first TV you got on Sims. It was like really basic on a stand, really super small. These TVs existed back in the day, bro. Way before LCD, plasma, flat screens and all that. Big box CRT TVs that were still small. Looks like a microwave, bro. They were a thing. It's another picture of that dresser. Yeah, I mean, I left this in because it's fucking goated. This is just some fan art for real of like what they thought a water mount could be like. And we're talking back in Grounded 1, a pond mount and what it could look like. And I don't know if it's Bernie, but whoever done this has absolutely gone in. It's so good. And that made me think back in the day, like, I remember seeing this and I'd be like, ooh, hold up. That could be such a good idea. Have some rains with some tadpoles. Then we've got this outrageous idea. I had to put this in because the work that they have put in here. This is essentially a track system for a road of some kind. First of all, Hot Wheels track. Straight away reminds me of that. But what it is once you made it, you can then travel on it like a train system, like a monorail of some kind, right? You have all the different parts for the track, and they've even put it with like geometrical design. Like, it's so well done. I had to show it off, right? Bringing us on to the next picture, someone also put this up and was like, yo, roly-poly buggy. I don't know if these ones, because not all of them were like 6 years old. Some of them are new and people are like, yo, coming up with these ideas. But this seems like an old one because we ain't messing around with roly-polies anymore, and that is old Pete. No, wait, no, that is new Pete. So this is some Grounded 2 inspired stuff, right? But that's why I put these two together. Like, you zipping about on that track like this, that's crazy work. Next, a Burgel inspired armor set. Like, bruh, if that doesn't make you think that could be in the game, definitely, I don't know what will. And it's like some weird futuristic retro, like I said earlier, the beige 90 computer plastic. It's just a vibe. I love, oh my God, I absolutely love and adore the fact that they've put a bum bag, but it's not like made out of material. It's like a toaster. You've got all of like these like little like dials and slots for like, oh man, it's so good. Like, and even the tash, the one eye and the tash, bruh. Whoever came up with this idea, absolute hats off. You are mad with it. Even down to the braces, the greaves. It's just... Don't know why, it just reminds me of an old McDonald's straw holder. Bro, give us this as a Founders Edition pack variant. Need that, want that. Another idea for a carriage. I thought the art was so good, so I had to in it. A small woven buggy with wheels made out of an acorn top, beetle drawn, a canopy of leaves sheltering passengers from the sun, rain, etc. Spiderwebs exist solely for decoration purposes. Now, I don't know if this is someone from back in the day, but hey, bruh, it's so good. And obviously the rhino beetle that it's using, is that the Black Ox beetle? Guess they're the same thing, but yeah. More buggy chariot designs. Love it. And then we have this. Woo! If you can't already guess what this is, I'll zoom in. Broski, this is a salt staff. Now again, I don't know how old this image is, but it looks like they're using like bombardier leg or a stink bug leg. I love the fact that they fully realized this. It's rendered fully in as something that you would actually see in the game. Yes, please, we need a salt staff to absolutely decimate wasps. It's just so good. Next, we'll come back to that. Now we have a crawl space idea. I don't really know what this is. I just saw it and was like, I'm gonna add that in. It's almost like there's somewhere we need to go and be inside, like this, the vents when we was over in the network station. But they're saying that when you get in there, they had all these like bugs up in there as well, and it would like connect biomes to each other, I guess. I don't know what bug that is, bro, but I don't want to see that ever in Grounded 2, bro. I'm good. Just some aura. I saw some fan art of some aura and I was like, okay. Next by Tenko Paint of Techno Paint is the Ladybug Caravan. Now, again, working on this whole buggies before buggies concept. I'm pretty sure this was a one from 6 years ago. Yeah, they've nailed it, bro. You could sit in there and chill. You've got the petal to shade you. You've got the net made out of spider webs on the side to carry your ant heads by the looks of things. And you've even got like 2 chests hanging off the side and a dew collector, I'm just noticing. Bro, so it is like it says a caravan. It's like a moving house. It's got everything you need as you kind of like pace around the park, garden in this case. But yeah, hats off. Again, they saw the vision, bro. Speaking of visions, next we have wingsuits part 2. Hold on a minute. We have wingsuits part 1 first. Let's look at this. So yeah, how we only had a dandelion top for the entire game of Grounded, I do not know. But obviously wingsuits being more of a glider, maybe you can get a little bit of air and lift yourself up like an Enshrouded. But here you can see all of the different bugs, a butterfly. Then we have like a ladybug. You have the closed version and the opened version. This could be some dragonfly. This could be dragonfly. Whoever drew this and done this, well done, bro. This is sick. I love it. This looks like a maybe a moth design down the bottom. But yeah, butterfly and moth. We've already dragonflies in Grounded ever since the first game. But to see that there, a wingsuit would be sick. W design. Right, back to wingsuits part 2. Okay, bruh. This wingsuit. Now, this is the only wingsuit I want in the game now. The Buzz Lightyear wingsuit. To infinity and be girth. No, that's crazy. And they've even got the little buzz head down there. No, that's crazy. Yeah, because that could actually work because we have toys around the park and we're so small that it would essentially, right? Yes, it would, 100%. Even though Buzz never actually canonically flew in Toy Story. Until Toy Story 5 when he turned into a drone and became part of the tech, but at least we'd be able to fall with style. Next is a picture of a long snoot, I guess. Rasto DM. I saw that and was like, yes, sir. This is a render from a fan of the Club of Mother Demon. Pretty interesting. When I saw it, I was like, okay. Again, another hats off to Techno Paint. This was another one from 6 years ago. Earwigs. Way before earwigs were even in Grounded 1. They weren't. Obviously, they came in Grounded 2, and here you can see them. Oh my days, absolutely crazy. And they've even gone as far as to put a weapon in, which is one of pincers from the earwigs. Oh my God. I mean, I am saying that this looks exactly like an earwig from Grounded 2, but earwigs from Grounded 2 are based on earwigs, and these earwigs here are based on earwigs. That's why it looks exactly like it, but yeah, absolutely, like, you called it, bro. You called it. So good. This common seashell, let's just say it was a snail shell. Snail shell, yeah. Maybe pond snail? Pond snail spear? Yes, looks so good, bro. Although it does say here, look. Next we have Grounded Ideas #2. Now I couldn't find all of the Grounded Ideas. I wish I did, but I didn't. Anyway, here we have the Mint Mallet, which is the classic one we all know. But then we have the Candy Crusher. Candy parts made from gumdrops. Yes! And then we have the Sour Sword, even though we ended up getting one. This... look at that. It's like some jagged edge sour candy. Sword, yeah, it's so good. And then look, a salty spear. Oh my God. Yes, please. Yes, please. I want to kill the snail with them. And I think this is the person who actually does the arts there. They've drawn themselves in. Whoever you are, you're a goat. This was definitely random, but I thought, yeah, let's put it in. A fan that takes wires, pebblets, crude rope, acorn top, clovers, and weed stems to make, and then just blows. I don't know why, but I want it. We got fans in playgrounds at the moment, so hey. Bruh, a weed stem swing set. There doesn't need to be a reason why that can be in the game. Just put it in. It's so good. And then coming back for this whole silk rope design from top to bottom, so you can climb up and down. Obviously, we have ladders, but it's just more exciting creativity. Yes, black light bulbs. Now, this is a bit crazy, but they've smashed up some seemingly purple sweet glass shard and put it over the front of the Firefly helmet to make black light, and it says for lighting up scorpions. Now I'm not sure if there's some actual thing behind that and you can use UV against certain scorpions and they're like, ah! But that's there. Good idea. This is just some fan art that people have made for Grounded back in the day, which is just so good. I remember the devs even commenting about these and saying, yo, love that. I don't know why. Bugs Life. Like, bro, he's even got a base inside a Puncho carton there. Love it. It's so good. I love the art style. It's so weird. But look, a dog, Marcus did say in that interview not too long ago, a dog would literally just completely and utterly ruin the game, come through stamping, everybody would hear it, it'd be so loud, it'd be flying all over the place, but hey, they obviously thought a dog would be good enough to put in. Right, so now I've just realized that actually these Grounded Ideas #2 and 3, I couldn't find them all, are community ideas that the Grounded devs have done. They've taken ideas from the community and then they've made them into ideas. I wonder why it looks so official and like, wow. But yeah, that's what this is. Looks like we're doing fan suggestions today. See what I'm saying? Here we have suggestions for shields. Shields would allow one player to be a tank. They can block more hits from a bug than other weapons, but they can't parry and they can't attack back. Eventually their stamina will run out. Maybe it regens slower after using a shield. So this is before we had shields in Grounded. And here you can see some like really early concepts of a shield, right? I'm pretty sure that's what's going on, bro. I tried to have a little look for more of these, but I only found one more we will look at. So here we can see another one with crossbows, an upgraded version of the bow. Use various bug parts to make fires stronger, bolts faster and more accurately, but the crossbow is slower to reload, so be careful. So we all know that crossbows actually actually made it into the game, and this could be thanks to the community's suggestion. A beak bolt, a bug's legs for the sides, spider silk for the rope. Excited. So maybe Yoda inspired them enough to do that. They even have the idea back in the day for butterflies. Well, we have moths in Grounded 1, so butterflies would be hard to reach bugs. You're gonna have to use a bow or crossbow to get them. Their wings could be used to make a glider or parasol even further with that whole entire vibe. Or they could use the wings to add curtains to your base. Bro, why did that not make it in the game? At least make like the same thing we use partitions out of. Like you got the gum partitions, the burr partitions, all of these different partitions, they could be curtains. Give us some raw science curtains that look like a cinema floor rug from the 90s. But yo, I love this as well. Down here we got like a little glider, a little tuft, little parasol. Yes, sir. But here we have another one. We have Grounded Ideas 3. We have crickets. Crickets are a passive bug, low health and not really dangerous. What the? When startled or damaged, they will leap into the distance to get away. I mean, we already know that's a thing in Grounded 2. That actually happened. I don't know how far these ideas were along in the development of Grounded, but the fact that we were asking for shields means that it's probably pretty early on, and we got that. We got that in the game. So yeah, this adds an extra challenge when hunting them and makes them unique from the other bugs in the game. Well, it certainly would. If you can find one of them you are hunting, keep an ear out. You might just be able to hear it, and we can hear crickets as well do their little. So that is, again, that came into the game. Cricket armor will let you jump higher and play a cricket chirp when you do. Well, the cricket loot bow, I guess, was kind of at that with the debuff buff mechanics. Kind of meant to be a sound, right? And then we got the mutation, the barb. And I can see them here, and they're just leaping off with the legs. What? You can also use their legs to make springboards for easy base travel. So it'd like fly you up in the air before bounce webs maybe, and give you a little glider on the way down. You can see it here, getting it all like wrapped up in rope, and then yo, I might have to hunt down the rest of these. I have had a look, but I couldn't. Moving on, we have a more recent fan concept. Broski! This could be an entire video on its own. These are concepts for more defense trap-like features in Grounded. First of all, you have the rolling boulder trap, the literal Crash Bandicoot trap that if you walk by the silk rope and it snaps, the boulder come a boulding down the hill. And this seems to be made out of clay and brick. Yes, love that. Next, in the middle, we have the boiling oil trap. Again, using the silk rope for the trigger. When you go over it, it's gonna pour boiling oil on you. What could we even use for that? Could it just be sap? Boiling sap? Anything liquid that's hot, I guess. We want it to be sticky, so it's even better. But yo, some honey, some dew, some honeydew. That's crazy as well. Back down to here, we have a whip and spear crossbow trap. Okay, so the whip looks to be just a stem with some rocks in the end that are jagged. Obviously, you trip and it into your face, or the creatures, let's say. It's not for humans, these traps. And then the spear crossbow is a literal spear placed inside a crossbow mechanism made out of stems and silk rope to fire it in you when you trip over it. We don't really have much base defense in Grounded as it is. Do you know what I mean? A few spike traps and a turret. But to see some more would be crazy. Just like the Venus flytrap. They didn't even put anything else with it. They just put the Venus flytrap. It could definitely trap gnats. That would be sick. Next, we have the cricket trebuchet. However you can say that word, which is absolutely redonkulous. Look at it. So I guess you would get to the point where you like rolled it back enough, filled this bag with bombs. That's literally bombs, bruh. And then and it just fires bombs across the park, though. We're looking at like mortar strikes with this, but hey, you've got to give props for the design of that, bro. Look at that, using the legs of the cricket to just, oh yeah, I love that. And then last but by no means least, we have the rock drop trap. What? This is sick, because all you really need is pebblets, silk rope, stems, and grass. Well, that's just the wall, you can do it anyway. But you come along, and it Yes. Next, we have this elegant design for like some half-chained, half-mace weapon that swings as you swang it. And they're saying that it has long reach and a wide swing. It's actually crazy. You have the handle, you have a chain, and then you whip it around with a big weight on the end. They're saying that you've got black ox ones, you've got some different types, different weights, different shapes, elegant, industrial, barbaric, and is stuck together with bug glue. I'm gonna say this is an actual early design for a weapon in Grounded, way back when I had the red and black lumberjack with the hat to match in the first game's early development. This is crazy. Sick, a new type of weapon. Yes, because that would mean new archetype. Next, the Firefly Flail. Try saying that 10 times. Firefly Flail. A stubbed head linked to a handle by a long lint chain, granting it extended melee reach in a wide area. So this is exactly like we just saw, but fully realized. Great for whacking large groups. So being able to hit more than one creature at once. And it does actually have an entire fully realized page with the damage, stun, speed. It's even got like added effects. Reliable combo. Unblockable. Tool cannot be used to block. Blocking a shield is required. Does not have a free hit combo, but a consistent rhythmic swing. Whoever you are, you're a GOAT. And this is definitely, look, back early in the early days of Grounded 1, this would have been so good. Discovered. Unlock recipe after analyzing all required crafting materials. Interesting. Not from just one. Yes! Another one, I'm gonna say, from the person that gave us the bee rope and slingshot, simply put, kites. I don't know how early this was on, but bro, look at this. There is literally the Orb Weaver glider years before we ever got it in Grounded 2. And yeah, we've all wanted a glider from day. We've got like a different one. We've got a clover one. We've got one that they've actually made fully and put some like bug skin over that. We've got the ladybug umbrella. Broski, dual nats, one-time use. Looking more like the woolly whoppers than anything, but yo, kites. Yes! Now this is a little bit different, but I saw it and was like, yes, please. This is almost something that could actually be rendered in real life and have it as a model. Because I'm looking at it and it's like, you could see this in real life. It reminds me of back in primary school when we used to make these little things called fairy gardens, and you used to like snap lolly sticks and make like picket fences and use like bits of grass and like make all of these gardens. That's exactly what this looks like. And you've got so much jammed in here. We got some scarab beetles, we got the scab, we got like the furniture and a whole entire house, a ladybug, and I think there's a few of these. It just looks so good. Yeah, look at this one. You have everything there. Sprigs, grass. Oh, this is the same place. This is over the back area of that. But look, literally have Burgle and Willow down in a lab down there under the ground. It looks so good. It looks like it's real. Bro, if this is real, I think it might be, because I've seen something like this. Yeah, there's a close-up. There you go. There's a better look at it. Yeah. Oh my God. That is, oh, it has to be real, bro. And this is like some art style of like zooming in and zooming out and putting like effects on it. This looks real. Like they've made it real life. So good. Oh my God. Is that Beta Max? I think it is. Even the workbench and the roly-poly. So good. And they've even put lights in there for night. Bro, the vibes. God, mate. Would you actually like something like this IRL that you decide that you could put down and it's like a whole little like working patch of the garden? Woo! Commission it. A fan project which looks to be a early design of a gas mask before we got a gas mask. Maybe this was the inspiration for the gas mask. You can see the fly with his snoot up, but it's plugged up and then going down tubes to an acorn, which is like sealed and holding oxygen for you. Crazy. I like how simple this is. Again, in the same design. This, bro, I don't know if you ever had these things back in the day. You used to pick off of trees and they came like a little pear and you would rip one side off and throw it in the air and go. That's what this reminds me of. But this is just a sprig, a fin flop, but like a little bit of a plant and a pebbler that you put together. And then all I imagine, oh my God, I have one. Oh my God, I have one. My God, I actually do. I bought this for my daughter a couple weeks ago. This is essentially what it is. And I don't know if this one works too well. Bruh, come on, that is literally you in Grounded, bruh. We're zipping about the place. Bruh. Yes! Absolutely goated idea. Whoever thought of that knows a thing or two about lateral lift. Okay, they're just cooking now. Now we have a banana spiked whip. They don't even tell you what it is. I love the simplicity. But they're using banana skin, gum, spider fang, and thistles. And they're making this insanity. Oh, yeah! You hold it down here, and then you whip with it. Oh, my God, that's nasty, bruh. Okay, this person is cooking hard. Oh, my God, so they've now got the double weaveled up chariot that takes crude rope, acorn shell, acorn top, sap. What's that? That's aphid honeydew. And weed stems. And then obviously 2 weevils to weevil you about. Oh, I see. They've used the honeydew to stick together the acorn shell. Bro, that is something. And I'm going to say, yeah, this is well before buggies came, bro. What a sick idea. Ooh, now we get into a proper bit of naughty girth. So this is someone's spear design that they've made. The top, the pointy bit that pokes you is made from the Coltana. If you go down, oh, look, they've even got an inspiration over here for what this is. This is not a spear, bro. This is a halberd. This is a some type of right there. They've even made the handle the same as the bee stinger spear. And then they've taken inspiration from the spicy staff to like give like the bend in the halberd spear tech. Ooh, yeah. That is actually sick. Not only is it like, oh, it's just a new weapon, but it's like the way they've implicated it implies implications. And they made another one. Another one. Oh my God. This is a staff. They've had inspiration from The Hobbit. Also Sauron's eye or some shit right there. Lord of the Rings. Oh, Hobbit. And they've made a new staff that A has salt in because that is the salt morning star. So this is a salt staff. Then they've used the pincers of a mantis over here to make it so you can jabber up as well. They've then taken the wrap, the pupa leather wrap maybe from the morning star, and then they've taken inspiration from yet another staff for the bottom. I'm gonna say straight off the rip, this is one of the most articulated pieces of fan concept art, design, whatever you want to call it, for a weapon I've ever seen, bruh. Yo, that is gnarly. Okay, they're fully cooked, grilled, burnt, absolute toasted with this one, bro. They've made a ladybug tick morning star black ox hammer combo into this incredible mace. That's a vibe, man. Like, I don't know why, but the fact that they've leaned in heavily to these designs makes it feel more powerful. It gives it more weight. That looks crazy. So obviously the color from the ladybug. I'm trying to work out what they've done here. The rope from the makalaka to tie in the blades of the mace. They've used the fluffy boy of the Black Ox hammer to put there, and then they've used the handle again from the Morning Star, bruh. Yes! And then there's like a better rendered version of it, like it would actually be in game, fully realized. Oh my days, we need this. When the ladybirds come in, maybe they should do that. That is death. Yes, I also saw this. Someone had drafted up scorpions well before scorpions were in Grounded 2 and made an infused scorpion, which is just crazy because, again, I know scorpions are based off of scorpions, but this scorpion looking scorpion before scorpions were looking scorpion makes me think scorpion. And then there's just some normal versions of it uninfused. Now, Jade PG Crafted would love this one. The infected rat. Again, it's techno paint. The pure creativity to make this is insane. We have like these infected rats that have been infected by the haze, but then we go ahead and make it into like a whip weapon that doesn't have spikes on it. It has these like pustule globule bits all over it, and then you wear it on your back. You have a backpack, you wear it there, and then you whip it out and start firing off. Like, what are we talking about here, bro? That's such a good idea. And again, the whole art piece here is just chef's kiss. It's a real good concept design. Like, I want an infected rat now. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't even care if we get this weapon or not. The weapon is obviously sick, but the concept of an infected rat? Yes. Next, we have these, I guess. I don't know what they are, but it looks like some thick with 2C versions of creatures we already have. This is like the Black Ox beetle, but this is more of a rhino beetle with like different colors and gelatinousness to it. Then we have this crazy translucent yellow ladybug variant. Crazy! Don't know what that is, but yes, please, we'll have that. The only thing I can say this is, straight off rip, a flying ant, aka a flant. We've always said ants can fly. Well, not all ants, but you get flying ants, and it's like, why aren't they in the game? And then what are we saying this is, bro? Are we saying tarantula? Are we saying daddy long legs? Are we saying spiny long leg hairy spider? Because that's all I can see. Looking crazy. The fact this is grounded 1, the fantasy elements are fantastical. And then we have some fan art of armor sets in grounded 1. We have the Akon armor set right here, which is like a little different twist to the armor set we got. So not sure if this came before that set, but here it is. And there's also an Akon shield. This artist, this person has also made a warm rat set, which is saying that maybe we would go into the house, into the freezer, and it would be cold. Well, broski, guess what? Fast forward to grounded 2, they put an ice cream cart frost biome in where this rat set would go so well. And guess what? We actually did use a felt boot type fur armor for it, but they thought about this way back in grounded. Love that. They also made a design for a flower set made from petals with lavender, putting it as a tier 2, having all the different colors and having lavender repel cockroaches. Cockroaches in grounded 1? No. Is this grounded 2 gear? I don't know. Either way, sick. It's got to be grounded 1 because they were talking about fruit journey. I love it. Like the little kneecaps, the wrapped around the leg to hold your lavender. Okay, la vida lita. This is like, this is giving mage set vibes, isn't it? Because it doesn't look like it's like big and like structurally sound to protect you, but I can't even lie, that looks like a flaccid billy hog on my screen. This is the cockroach. This is the cockroach sail plane. Okay, so I was pretty close. And cockroach legs for climbing. Oh, they're saying that you have boots that you put on that you can climb up here. Climbing walls uses stamina. Okay, and you can fly over the ground after climbing higher. Oh, the cockroach wings fly out. I cannot see. Cockroach is definitely the right word for that. Moving on swiftly. And we even said about this recently in one of my videos where we saw that there is a new bird's nest up on the pagoda. That egg could be a resource that we use, but they've made this egg armor set. This is tier 3 now, difficult to bite through and split with some craziness going on. This is nice. I like the idea. I do, that he's using eggshell as the armor because it's hard body. They've even put a shield in here as well. That's sick. And we can only crack an egg with a mint hammer or a saw, and then they've literally designed a saw from bug parts, bro. Yo, you gotta give props to whoever this is. Spasso Art? I don't know if that's your name, but hey, big art. And then the same artist has made an aphid farm. Overtake, catch, and put in the farm. This is probably way before you can make pets and way before we've worked out how to farm aphids, right? Because you can do that with plant slurry, but they've got like acorn fence, a gate, any farm site size and endless food. Here we go, right? That's what we were using it for when we made a endless farm. But you have a feeder here, which feeds grass plank down to the floor where the aphid then eats it. Broski. 10 out of 10 for creativity. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like it, especially when we're talking about grounded 1. Grounded 2, it's a bit like, it's a little bit low tier, but it would have been evolved by then, right? So good. Next, we have a concept art by Borneo Shack, which is literally just salty stuff. Yo, they got like this salt rocks like linking in the middle with electricity to like fire off. What is that? Is that a lava head, broski? That's crazy. Oh, going back to that other artist, they also made a mantis set, tier 3, with an axe and a sword and the full, yeah, look at that. The full mantis mask on your head with like some moody shoulder greaves there, shoulder spaulders there, arm bands, shoulder pads, elbow pads, and then like some proper greaves as well, shin pads. They look sick. And obviously this in grounded 1 would have gone hard, bro. And the one we skipped over earlier, there was a reason I skipped over it earlier. It didn't have any of the writing on this. A lift. Everybody wants a lift. Oh my god. The amount of times I've heard, oh, let's make a lift even just for us to carry our resources or our buggies now, because obviously we know zip lines are coming, and this is that fully realized idea. They have the weed stems, they have acorn tops, they have silk rope, they have crude rope to like tie it in and have it all working on a pulley system to lower you up and down with weed stems and planks. Raises, it takes resources like boards and weed stems and people, obviously now, and buggies. If you can build a lift, then you can deliver resources. Oh my god, that would be so good. Like trekking up into a tree. And it's saying it also only works with 2 people. I don't know about that because that'd be shit for single player, but I like the idea that someone would have to do that while someone was on it. Bro, such a goated idea, bro. Then we just have this picture of Pete completely and utterly aura farming out here with some new vibes. Shirtless Pete with scars and a little bit of muscle on him with his foot rested on a milk molar. I'm not gonna lie, this art piece right here is buttery girth. And obviously I'm main Pete as it is already, so you know I'm like, yo! Yeah, these ideas do not stop flowing. Next, we have more buggy concepts for a rhino beetle of some kind. It's got like a horn, it's got like some nice setup for the seat. Looks kind of like the Ladybird buggy where you sit up in it, but it's more like reins and you kind of like go around. They've even got like examples over here with a rhino beetle, like an elephant caravan type thing. They've even got like a monster truck for a fucking vibe and a big rhino with armor. It could be the Black Ox beetle for real. And it says up here that the flag's color changes depending on the teen who summon it. Woo! That's customization. In fact, buggy customization is coming down the road, so that is definitely hinting at that type of stuff right there. And maybe a battle horn as you go forward, bro. Stop being so creative. Next, a small little scorpion design for grounded would have been crazy. Here you can see the design that they've made over here, and then the armor that comes off of it. I don't know why that reminds me of something out of Expedition 33, but that is so good. It's so realized. I look at that and I go, yeah, that is a thing. That works. Whoever done this design has just girthed it out entirely. Random one, a toasty. Okay, bro. Bro is literally a toaster. More of a fire variant of the Taze tea or whatever, but he's got like these like hot hob cooker top bits here that will heat you up and then bro will burn you. I thought it was fire. I put it in. Back to more techno paint, and we have literal gun. Bro's made the zapper. Get it? Zapper. I don't know what it's made out of. I'm not even gonna ask. It just zaps, bro. It's like a ray gun. Love that. Especially with some 90s inspired shit right there. Then we have the Peb THR, the Peb thrower. Hate the name. Love the design though. You load peppers into it and it like catapults it out of like some shoulder bazooka type vibe. 5. Yes, sir. And then an ACN, Acorn Shield. So this must have been before shields were a thing, or at least you only had early shields, because I'm looking at that like an Acorn Shield. I could see that coming in the game. It never did. But hey, goated idea. And then lastly, I will put these on screen for you just to watch because it is a video, but this is someone's concept design for a Scorpion in Grounded 1. And just looking through all the different movements that the Scorpion does, it's even burrowing right there underneath the ground. And then when it's under the ground, it's like poking up its tail and then like jutting out at us. Imagine if we actually got that. That would be crazy. But the fact that someone way back then even has it coming up out of the ground, and I'm not gonna lie, they've completely and utterly nailed the Scorpion there long before we ever got it in Grounded 2. Hey, there we go. Now, I know this is the longest video I've ever uploaded onto YouTube, but there is a reason for this. Onyx Pros always take a long time, or I should say digital art books. The concept art, looking at these types of designs and then just getting excited and talking through it as we do, they always take a long time. Just think about this. So far, doing the Onyx Pro video for Grounded 2 is like an hour long at least each. The first one and then the updated one. So think about the Onyx Pro for Grounded 2 way down the line when the game is fully out. It's gonna be stacked and could probably take just as long as this one did right there. So I will keep it brief right here. If you did enjoy the video or you were at all absolutely and unadulterately into Grounded, spam that like button as quick as you can, because I can't lie, we just went through 1,000 images, near enough, in this little big, ginormous, yoked girth Onyx Pro. Also, liking the video helps push this out to even more Grounded fans, getting even more Grounded fans in, and getting this little bit of a love letter to Grounded as a little hark back to the backyard before the new pond update and PlayStation get to actually experience Grounded 2 for the first time. So a lot of people might still be on Grounded 1 waiting. And like I said, this will be down in the description in a file for you to go ahead and download for yourself if you ever want to go through and check out every image that we have in this Onyx Pro, just like you would if you were to download the Grounded 2 digital art book. I also played the Grounded 1 soundtrack throughout this entire video, and not only did I play the basic Grounded 1 soundtrack, but I also played the Year 2 soundtrack, which is like the soundtrack from the first bit, but remixed up into some utter girth, just to give you a bit of extra girth on toast. So, hey, consider subscribing if you haven't yet, and come and join the HyperNOG Hyper Nuts as we gear up to be going into the pond update for Grounded 2. And hey, I appreciate you sticking it out. I know we're a little bit in the middle of updates, so I thought I'd give you the full and utter yoked girth. That's gonna do it from me. See you in the next stream or video. Hey yo, it's HyperNOG. Back firing off like a sniper shot. Can't contain this LOG like a lightning rod. That's why I'm blowing up like a nitro box.